very hot, it's very steamy, and it is, of course, Jalan Besar Stadium. It is the Singapore Premier League kicking off very, very shortly. And the big question is can the Lions City Sailors make an inroad into the 6-point gap that they trail Albrechts at the top of the table? But it's Tampines Rovers that come knocking, wounded from the Asian Champions League and looking to put a bit of pride back for the Tampines Stags. Well, so far, Albrechts Niigata defeated Hougang by 4-1. That means that they now have 6 points lead at the top of the table. The Young Lions, they defeated Balestier Khalsa by 4-2. And Geylang International lost 4-2 to Tanjong Pagar. So goals galore. And the question is will we get goals galore today? That means that the league table looks like this. Tampines are desperate, even though they have a couple of games in hand on the teams above them. They know that 3 points are a must, but it's Lion City Sailors, and they have spent money, haven't they? 2 games in hand on Albrechts Niigata, but trail by 6 points. Should be an absolute belter. There's no question about that. And we are really, really looking forward to. When I say we, of course, I'm here with, of course, none other than Roshan, Mr. S-League, as it were. So then, Roshan, what are we expecting from today's game? Because the Stags know, having come off that Asian Champions League campaign, that they need to go and hit the ground running. Yeah. Whereas Lion City Sailors, they need to stay in touch.
Yeah, they do, and I think that the pressure's on both these sides, especially with the Lion City Sailors, because of just of how much they've spent in their squad, and that's something that's going to keep coming up over and over again if they don't go on and win it. And players have spoken about that as well, how the expectations have risen, and they're ready to deliver. It's all about playing for big clubs, and when you're challenging for titles as they are, as these two sides are, players will be used to that. You've just got to deal with the situation of a title race, and Albrechts, with their big win on the Friday night, have certainly piled on the pressure on both these sides. So it's going to be a big game between these two. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, the big question is what changes has Coach Kim made for this Lion City Sailors side? We do know that Harris has come into the starting lineup, and he's going to be deployed as a centre-back. That's the big news there. Hassan Sunny's also big news because he recovered from that concussion that he received against Balestier. But it's George that's out as he's suspended. Tajeli comes into the starting lineup, as does Faris Ramley. Diego Lopez misses out with a late injury. Yep. Surprise for you, is this attacking enough to go after Tampines and get the points?
Yeah, I certainly think it is. I mean, the likes of Gabriel Kwak in there, 8 goals this season already. Even with Haikal Pasha with his pace down the left-hand side, he's only got that 1 assist, but he's always a threat in those attacking areas. Faris Ramley in behind Stipe Plazibat. Stipe Plazibat with his 11 goals, 5 assists. He's not just a goal scorer. He helps to create opportunities for them as well. I like the look of this lineup, especially with Shadan controlling things in the centre of the park.
But it's going to be Harris that's going to be anchoring, we're led to believe, in defence there. That's going to be important and vital for them. He's only played 1 game and started 1 game, came on as a sub in another. Yeah. It's important for him today to hit the ground running and show Kim what he can do.
It certainly is going to be very important. And I mentioned Stipe Plazibat earlier on as well with the goals that he scored. We're just seeing Harris there at the bottom of your picture on the left-hand side going through the warm-ups. Look, both these guys, Harris is going to have to be leading from the back, from the centre of defence in there. And he's got that versatility as well, Mace, hasn't he? I mean, he's got the ability to play in central midfield. He's got that ability to play in central defence. And that's exactly one of the reasons as well why they've brought him in, because he just gives you options as a coach.
Going to be vitally important, but none more important than the goalkeeper. Of course, a goalkeeper is pivotal, isn't it? And Hassan, well, he got banjoed, didn't he? He was basically knocked out in the last game, but has made a miraculous recovery.
Yeah, I don't think many people expected Hassan Sani to actually be starting this game. There's lots of talk about Rudy Kairula being the player who would come in and replace Hassan Sani. So it's incredible that, he's recovered. The coaching staff and the players around him have been given a big boost by the fact that he's been able to come back into training and he's fit. And what he brings to this side as well is not just his goalkeeping ability, but the fact that he talks, he communicates with his defense. And when you've got younger players around you as well, that's going to be vitally important as well. They're making sure that he's just organising things at the back. But also, I mean, he's got the goalkeeping principles spot on. So there's nothing to be too concerned about. A huge boost that he's in the starting lineup.
Well, 3 changes, of course, to the Lion City Sailors. How many for Tampines? Well, it's not that difficult to explain. They played in May, so we've gone off their last league lineup, so there are 3 changes. It means that Bennett comes in, and he will partner Bayaki in the centre of defence. Madhu and Ryan are the 2 that miss out. Martin comes in, Irwan Shah comes in, and so does Bennett. So those are the 3 changes that are made there. Now, that's a little bit of a defensive shuffle, as it were, from Gavin. The question is can this contain what's going to come at them?
I think when you look at that lineup, what he's gone with is a lot of experience in those central defensive positions. He could have easily gone with Ryan Sanisal, 19 years of age, to start in central defense. But when you think about the fact that he's got Baihaki and Bennett in those central defensive positions, I think it's a sign of respect to the strength that Lion City Sailors actually have in those attacking areas. And that's why he's brought in those two senior players right in the heart of defense as well. And let's not forget Irwan Shah, who's going to be playing perhaps on the right-hand side of that defense. So you've got three players in there who do have international experience, who do have plenty of quality and experience in the local domestic league as well. So I think that's why they've started it with them in those positions.
They do have quality as well that needs to be looked out for, don't they? Yeah. Particularly across the middle of the park. There are threats all over the place. Yeah. Where are the biggest threats coming from? For
me, the two players who are key to them in terms of building up the game for them right through the midfield are Nakamura and Mehmedovic. Those two for me have been absolutely outstanding for Tampines Rovers. Kyoga Nakamura, the number 8, you keep a lookout for him. He's always the one who tends to receive it off the central defenders, gets the attacking moves going. He's very difficult to really win the ball off. You know, he's sort of, in these new age terminologies, you say press resistant. This basically means, mate, he keeps the ball very well under pressure. Mehmedovic is another one, just like that. 6 assists for Mehmedovic this season. He scored 2 goals for himself. Nakamura, I forgot to mention, 3 goals and 1 assist for him. But these two guys are two key players in central midfield that the Lion City Sailors are going to make sure that they have a close eye on. And I think that midfield battle is going to be absolutely fascinating. Shadan, Saifullah, Faris in those central areas up against Mehmedovic and Nakamura. And maybe even Iman Hakim coming up and showing us a little bit more of what he's about.
Well, we spoke about that, but defensively, what have Tampines got? That's going to be the big question. The Champions League obviously was a little bit disappointing for them. They only managed to score the solitary goal, but there were positives to take from that, wasn't there, Roshan?
Yeah, I think so. And I think especially those two first performances against Gamba Osaka and against the second one against Chiang Rai United, where actually I think Tampines had enough opportunities against Chiang Rai to actually go on and win that. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take the chances. The performances in those first 2 matches were very encouraging. That game against John Book was just incredibly difficult, but completely understandable when you think about where John Book are as a club in terms of the budget. It's highest budget in K-League, for example. They've been winning that competition season after season. And of course, it doesn't look good, 9-0. But you just see where the gulf is in terms of that class, in terms of that level of quality. And that's something Gavin, the coach, that's something the players have talked about, you know, bringing back these lessons from playing at such a high-level competition, playing in top players, seeing where you actually are, realizing that, and then more importantly, working on trying to improve and making sure that you're able to try and close the gap, however big that gap is.
Well, everyone's spoken about that, but what were the key sort of highlights for you from player-wise there? Yeah. And can they transform that into the form today, particularly defensively?
I think the encouraging thing is from younger players' perspective, I really thought Ryan Sanizal had a very good outing at the Champions League. And when you consider the fact that he'd only played 4 SPL matches before going to Tashkent, he played 5 in the AFC Champions League, and he was, you know, he didn't let anyone down at all. And I think Mark Ryan Tan is another player who was impressive in the Champions League. So those two look good. They look like they have the big future. But what we're looking at here is the goals that they conceded against Hougang. And it's been something for Tampines that they've got to address in terms of conceding goals on these transitional moments in the opposition counter-attack. And when you're a side like Tampines, and I'm sure Lion City Sailors will face this as well, when you're a side that likes to have possession of the ball, when you like to dominate, when you keep the ball, when you play with a higher line, when you do lose it in certain areas, there is that danger that you can get caught out on the counter-attack.
So is Bayaki and Bennett the answer then to plug the middle of the defence?
Look, I think they'll know exactly what these players have and what they don't. And Bayaki and Bennett, yes, not the quickest. So that's an area of concern for Tampines Rovers as well. The key thing here for Gavin is to try and figure out a way that they don't expose themselves in those areas. So to make sure that if they are pressing high up against the Lion City Sailors here, they make sure the lines are compact. Because if the lines aren't compact, if you're not able to press correctly, then you leave that space for a pass to go in behind, and that's when they could be in a spot of bother.
Well, 22 goals they have conceded, 18 from inside the box, 7 set plays as well. So there is a lot of work for the 2 veterans and the 2 real experienced players and 2 defenders that need to be sorted out today for Gavin Lee and his Tampines Rovers side. So we're going to head for a quick break. We're going to be back in a minute, and on the other side we'll hear from both of the coaches on their thoughts ahead of the game. Not only that, we'll take a deeper look at the Lion City Sailors. Welcome back to the Jalan Besar Stadium. It is, of course, the Singapore Premier League action that's going to take place very, very shortly. The Lion City Sailors taking on Tampines Rovers. Let's go down. We caught up with both head coaches a little bit earlier on, so let's get down and hear their thoughts before the big game today.
Coach Kim, a massive one today. You, of course, come into this on the back of 2 draws. So fair to say you're looking for all 3 points here, especially in front of a bigger home crowd?
지금 이제 감독님 2번의 비긴 경기 이후에 이제 정말 중요한 경기가 왔는데요. 당연히 이제 3점을 홈 경기장에서 팬들 앞에서 이기고 싶어 할 텐데요. 이제 어떻게 생각하시나요?
네, 저뿐만 아니라 팬들도 많이 기대하고 있고 우리 선수들도 홈 경기니만큼 총력을 다해서 우리가 승점 3점을 따기 위해서 정신적으로나 마음적으로 많이 준비가 돼 있는 걸로 준비가 돼 있습니다.
Yes, of course we want all the 3 points. We're playing a home game in front of our fans. I'm sure that the fans want to see a winning game as well. So we will be prepared mentally and physically for this game.
Now, in that 1-0 draw against Balestier last week, you said that perhaps your side lacked confidence, especially in the final third and in terms of finishing. Was that the main thing that you've worked on ahead of this?
네, 저번 벨리스티어 경기 때 이제 선수들에 있어서 골대 앞에서 집중력이나 결정력에 관해서 이제 좀 부족한 모습이 있었다고 했는데요. 이번 경기에 앞서서 이제 그런 거 위주로 훈련을 하셨나요?
네, 일단 득점을 해야지 우리는 이기는 경기를 할 수 있다고 선수들이 알고 있고 저 또한 선수들에게 전달을 했습니다. 그리고 우리가 홈에서 하는 경기니만큼 또 득점을 통해서 우리가 승리를 할 수 있는 그런 경기를 운영해야 되지 않을까 예상하고 있습니다.
Yes, of course. The players know as well we need to score in order to win. So we'll be focused on scoring. It's a home game, so we want to have an exciting game as well.
Now, we've just heard that Hassan Sani will indeed be starting tonight. That is amazing news. But you will also be missing a huge player in George who will be out through suspension. How does that change things for you defensively?
이제 하산은 다행히 복귀를 한 걸로 알려졌는데요. 아직도 조지라는 중요한 선수가 빠져가지고 경기 운영에 관해서 어떻게 바뀌었나요?
네, 운영이 바뀐 것보다는 일단 하산 선수가 들어옴으로써 우리 선수들의 사기가 좀 더 높아졌다고 저는 생각하고 있고, 그런 또 하산 선수가 팀을 위해서 몸이 완전하지 않지만 그래도 팀을 위해서 희생한다는 그런 마음들이 우리 선수들한테 전달이 되어 있다고 저는 보고 있고, 그런 부분들이 굉장히 긍정적이라고 생각하고 있습니다. 그리고 조르지가 나오지 않는 부분에 있어서는 우리 또 다른 선수들이 그 자리를 잘 메꿔줄 거라고 믿고 있고, 또 믿고 있기 때문에 지금 베스트를 또 그렇게 구성을 했습니다.
So yes, Hassan's quick recovery, it helped the team morale. Everyone's looking forward to his return. And it really helps the team because we know that how much he's given and how much he's sacrificed for the team. And in terms of George, yes, he'll be missing out, but we have other great players that we trust as well. And so with those players, I trust that we can have a good game.
Gavin, you guys have been out of SPL action for almost 3 months, and that's because of your AFC Champions League. Now, after that run, you said that you will learn from every mistake and every defeat. So with that in mind, you must be raring to go once again tonight, right?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I think it was a very, very enriching experience. We were disappointed on many things, but we're very proud of quite a few number of items as well. So we are looking to see if we can bring it all back, consolidate it, and perform even better today.
Now, Sailors tonight, and you do have a pretty good record against them, unbeaten in 3, but they come into this on the back of 2 draws. They do have their weaknesses, so would you say you fancy your chances in exploiting that tonight?
Well, we fancy our chances against every team we play. But Sailors are definitely a good team, we know that, same as a lot of the teams in the league. So, you know, we've planned, I think we've trained quite well the last 2 weeks after quarantine, and I'm hoping for a good performance today.
And finally, you do have a largely fit squad to call upon, so just talk us through how you've shaped up for today.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Madhu misses out still. We've got a couple of players still working back to full fitness, but it would look quite similar to before we left for Champions League.
Always great to get the coach's thoughts ahead of a game, but not more so than Kim, Roshan. And he turned around and said it was important that Hassan is fit. He's been shuffled into a couple of changes as well today. But how would you say he has done so far since taking over the reins? They've had 2 games, 2 draws.
Yeah, I think results-wise, it perhaps hasn't been the best of starts for him, and I think that's something that he'll be aware of as well. Look, but he's a coach with incredible pedigree and wonderful experience. And I've spoken to players at the club and people around Kim Do-hoon, and they're saying that, he's very detail-oriented. He wants to change a few things as well, and that's going to take time. Let's remember the Lion City Sailors, and I know it sounds like I'm creating excuses for them here, but they've had 3 coaches essentially this season. Aurelio Vidmar, there was Robin Chitraka who came in as well for about 3 games, and then Kim Do-hoon has come in now, and he's got his own ideas and how he wants them to play as well. So it is going to take a little bit of time. It's a tricky situation because the expectations and the pressure is always going to be on the Lion City Sailors. He has to get his ideas across at the same time as they're winning games.
Well, is he the right man? Does he have that mentality? Because if you turn around and have a look what they did against Balestier when they trailed by that goal, they showed that fighting spirit to come back and score the penalty in the 95th minute.
Yeah, look, again, this is similarly to what Tampines Rovers have faced at times in the league this season. They're going to come up against sides that will sit back against them and frustrate. And that's what happened in this game against Balestier. Very difficult pitch for a side like Lion City Sailors to play on, a passing team. They like to get on the ground and move it. Very difficult to get past their very compact Balestier defense. But eventually what you see there, it's good signs. It's signs that they have the mental capacity and that resilience to recover from difficult situations. And we saw against Elbrechts as well, the first game of Kim Do-hoon's reign. They were struggling against Elbrechts in the first half, but they responded really well in the second to pick up a point. So they're hoping for a big improvement here against Tampines Rovers. And they don't really have a choice with the title race being nice and tight. The pressure is really on the Sailors here.
Well, I think one of the big questions then before we head off to the commentary position is, where's this game won and lost and who's going to win it?
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot there.
Well, I have to, right?
Yeah, you have to. First game between these two sides ended in a 3-3 draw. Lion City Sailors haven't beaten Tampines Rovers since their inception. It's a tough one. I'm very tempted to go for a high-scoring draw, but I think I'm going to lean in the way of the Lion City Sailors picking up a win, because if I know I go with a draw, you're going to give me a bit more grief, Paul.
We've had lots of goals so far this week in the Singapore Premier League. Will we get more today? Live action coming after this short break. Very warm welcome then to the Jalan Besar Stadium, where it is an absolute must-win for the Lion City Sailors to stay in touch with Albrechts Niigata, who are at the top of the table on 34 points. Tampines, well, they're in 4th place and they need victory as well. So it's vital for both sides today to turn around and come out with all guns blazing as they both search for 3 points. So should be an absolute cracker, should be a belter. There's no question about that. It was 3-3 when these two sides met on the 13th of March. All the way, some 5-6 months ago. Will we have another goal fest today? Beautiful setting, but it is extremely hot. There's no question or doubts about that. Joining me in the commentary position is Roshan. Roshan, what are we expecting today? We're expecting a nice open game of football, lots of goals. What can we look forward to?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're expecting an open game of football here. Both sides with plenty of quality in those attacking positions. Wonderful technical ability right through the center of the park, especially when you think about the players that Tampines Rovers have here with Kyoga Nakamura in there. We've touched on him and Medvedev being two of the key players for Tampines Rovers in central midfield in terms of how they like to build out from the back, in terms of making sure that they're able to control the tempo of the game for the Stags. And then you've got Armin Bosniak down the left-hand side, who's always going to be an outlet for the Rovers out on that left-hand side. They tend to try and feed the ball into him whenever they can. Mark Tan on the right-hand side there will give them width on that right-hand side of the pitch. But when you look at Lion City Sailors, Shadan Sulaiman, a wonderful technician in the center of the park, he's able to just bring out passes for the Lion City Sailors as well. With Saifullah, who's a young player that I've really enjoyed watching. Saifullah Akbar works incredibly hard on and off the ball. He's got good technical quality. And then when you think about that forward line, Stipe Plazibat, Faris Ramli, Gabriel Kwak, just oozing quality here. Both these 11s look absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, Maze, this is a game that lots of fans of the SPL have been really looking forward to. Been flooded with messages on social media from both these sets of fans. Both want to defeat each other, not just win the match, but they want to smash a few goals past the other.
Well, you
hopefully we'll get that.
You mentioned the fans, which is obviously vitally important, isn't it? They are here today, and it's nice to see, you know, with the restrictions easing here in Singapore, that we've got the fans coming back into the ground. It's not the same without you here. It's important, wherever you are watching this in the world, go and support your local leagues. Get down, come out and support your teams, because that is what football is all about. Well, both sides get ready to enter into the field of play. The anthem is on. The teams are walking out. We're only moments away from kick-off in what promises to be a thoroughly entertaining game of football. Can Big Bad Boris continue scoring goals, or will it be Plazibat that takes the mantle today? A lot been mentioned as well about Tampines and their defence with Bennett and Bayaki, the old guard as they are known. Or will the quality that the Sailors have, that Roshan was just mentioning, be the thing that shines through? They've got their experience as well. There's Shadan, of course, a veteran, former Tampines players for many, many years as well. But there is Bennett, the most capped Singaporean of all time. He will lead this Tampines side in their black strip today. Hassan in charge of Lion City Sailors, overcoming that concussion that he received against Balestier, which of course is going to be vitally, vitally important today that they've got him as the custodian. So the formalities almost done here. Both sides have given their fist pumps. The referee, Fahad Mohammed, today, he is taking charge of the game. Be interesting to see the new crop, the younger officials that have broken through over the past couple of seasons and how they manage and control the games. So very much looking forward to seeing his role in today's proceedings, because of course the officials do play a part, but never forget one thing: if we don't have the officials, we don't have a game of football.
Yeah. It's not just opportunities for younger players in the SPL these days, is it? It's opportunity for younger officials as well.
Absolutely. And as the game grows and the game evolves here in Singapore, it's always great to see that these youngsters are given the opportunities. Well, the toss is going, and it looks like as though it's gone the way of Dan Bennett as we bring you the team lineups. 3 changes then for the Lion City Sailors. Hanis Harun comes in to the starting lineup. Jorge is out because he has a suspension looming over him. Nakruddin is missing, as is Diego Lopez with a late injury, which means Faris Ramli comes into the starting lineup, as does Tajeli. 2 changes in that back 4. Faris going to drop in the hole behind Plazibat. Is that good enough to go after this Tampines side, Roshan?
I think there's plenty of pace in that forward line, and especially with Stipe and the role that he plays. You know, it's not just goals that he's scoring this season. We know he's got 11 of those, but he's also picked up 5 assists for himself as well. And that's because he links up with those runners in behind him, likes of Gabriel, likes of Faris in those attacking positions as well. 3 changes then for Tampines. It's Yasir, Ryan and Madhu that go out. Ewan Shah will come into a fullback role. Mark Tan and, of course, the veteran Bennett, mostly down the right-hand side. A bit of a tweak there then, but they haven't played since the 8th of May. Is that going to play on them, even though they've had the Champions League campaign, Roshan? Can they hit the ground running and spoil the Lion City Sailors party? Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope that at least Gavin will be hoping there's this freshness amongst the squad, and of course there's always that issue of rhythm or a lack of it, a lack of momentum as well. But they've had some training time. I believe they've had a friendly game against Jalan recently as well, just to get some minutes into the legs. But look, nothing replaces competitive action, and there's always been an issue with the fact that they've spoken about the fact that they've picked up lessons from that Champions League competition. It was a tough couple of weeks in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. Let's see what they've got here. The thing that they have got going for them over the Lion City Sailors is that Kim Do-hoon is new in charge. So Tampines actually have that stability of Gavin having been there since 2019. His players will know exactly what's required of them, know exactly what he wants. Whereas for the Lion City Sailors, they're still kind of adjusting to what Kim Do-hoon wants, Kim Do-hoon expects out of them. And recently as well, a couple of the players were interviewed on the Lion City Sailors website. Likes of Faris, Ramli and Saifullah were talking about how Kim Do-hoon wants them to be adaptable in terms of their formations, in terms of their tactics in game, and not just game by game. So that's again something that his players are going to have to adjust.
Let's see who daps the quickest today. Will it be the Lion City Sailors or will it be Tampines Rovers? The Lion City Sailors in the white strip will be kicking from left to right, but Tampines, well, they're here to spoil the party. There is no question about that. Whistle to the mouth can mean only one thing. Let's football and let's get underway. And straight away the ball dinked over the top, looking for the run there. That gets closed down. Faris Ramli does ever so well to retain and keep that in play. The ball hasn't gone out. There's a real opportunity here. Benny just flicks it away though. Here's Mark Tan. Just dropping the shoulder, doing ever so well, but he's overcooked that one, and that's a cool, solid challenge on that occasion from Amiral. And oh, Shazwan has to come out and clear it with his head. Already we're 30 seconds in, and this game is telling us we're going to have goals.
Yeah, listen, the last time out, the first game between these two sides, 6 minutes of the match, we already had 2 goals. Well, Song Yi-yong and Gabriel Kwak, if I remember correctly. Getting Sailors off to a very good start.
Chance here at the other end now, but well defended. Of course, Harris, the man brought back to Singapore to play his trade here with the Lion City Sailors in the right place at the right time. So the first corner of the game, what quality can be produced? And you know, with the experience of Bayaki and also Bennett, there is height in there. Hedmovic delivers, headed straight up in the air from Plazabat. Just knocked away easily by Gabriel Kwak, and now a little bit of pace and a little tug back there. He's going to see a little ticking off, I think, for Iman Hakim. Yes.
Great start to this game so far. You can see exactly what both these sides are going to be bringing to it. Both teams that like to have the ball, very comfortable in possession, with that ability to move it quickly through the lines as well.
So Jelly drives it up the line, not cleared properly, but well, Amiral makes amends and manages to retain possession. And Nakamura just gets caught from behind as well. One of the ever-presents of starting matches is Nakamura, along with Shazwan and Madhu. Madhu misses his first game today, so it'll just be the 2 of them that's played every game.
Yeah, he's just taken a knee into the back of his leg, then to his hamstring.
Yeah, it can hurt when you're not expecting it, just to get that little challenge from the blind side.
Especially if you've not really warmed up enough, muscles a little bit cold, perhaps getting a knock. Once he starts getting a bit of movement in there, should be able to run it off.
Possession kept there from Shadan, as you might expect. One of the veterans in this Lion City side, vastly experienced. Adam just clips that one forwards, but Bennett again. We talk about experience, just reading that one well. Little nudge in the back, play on, says the referee. Shadan gives it away. A little bit sloppy from both sides, even though the intensity's been high here in the first 3 minutes.
What we just saw there as well, and keep an eye out on this, is Saifullah, as I mentioned, coming into this game, player who works incredibly hard on and off the ball. He's always a willing runner from midfield, looking to make those late runs from deep into attacking areas. There he was just early on, providing an option for Noor Adam to play a ball in behind.
Hassan just keeping it simple. Amiral doing the same. To Jelly. Nice footwork from him there. The big switch as well, looking for the run of Haika. It's a lovely ball as well. He has support. So Fuller goes ahead of him. There he is now. Solid defending from Nakamura, though. Tracking back in there and winning it back.
Yeah, wonderful work by Tajeli down that right-hand side. So just looking to keep that pressure up on this Tampines Rovers side.
They are pressing a little bit more than we've seen them before, the Lion City Sailors, because Tampines are conceding possession a little bit cheaper on occasion. Harris, well, Plazibat just having a go at the referee there because he had to try and run around him. There's Tajeli again, fighting and battling, and wins the free kick over Mehedmovic. As we have a look at the fans, and again, we spoke about the importance of them. It is important, isn't it, Roshan?
Yeah, it certainly is. I just want to come back to that in a bit as a potential opening.
Goalkeepers all the way, that one. No problem.
But yeah, look, it's just great to see fans coming back into the grounds as well. And I think with effect from 19th of August, if I'm not mistaken, might be increasing the capacity to 1,000. It's great to see the fans have come out here.
There's Bennett. Keeps it simple. Iman just helps it on. Nakamura, no look pass. Nice twist and turn there. Mehedmovic switches play but closed down quickly. Good defending from Adam. And Adam helped it on, and here comes Heikel again. He's been an absolute live wire so far. Plazabat helps it on. Time and space for Faris Ramli, but it's just intercepted and well read as well from Amaral. Good defending.
That's well defended. Lion City Sailors getting off to a really good start here. Nice tempo to their attacking play. Just at the moment, still very early on, of course, just struggling to get that final pass.
How big is today's game, Roshan, for them because of what Albrechts did a couple of days ago?
Listen, it's huge. It means a lot, not just to Lion City Sailors. I'll come back to it.
Just overcooked, but that's going to stay in play. A bit of space for Mark Tan. Keeps it simple. Even Sharp in an advanced position. He'll swing this in with his left. Don't worry about that, but easy pickings for Tajeli. Iman conceded possession when he had a lot more time there than he realised. Here's Jalan. So Fuller. Well, you could see what he was trying there. Faris said he wanted it at his feet, but it was just a little bit too far, but nice try.
Yeah, just a bit of a miscommunication there between Faris and Saifola. But just to go back to the point I was making earlier, or maybe I have to come back to that again. It's just going end to end.
Well, it could be here because Mehedmovic is in behind. And he's been penalised. Mehedmovic just a little bit overzealous there. He just shrugged his shoulders, and you can understand why. That was Bosniak, excuse me. There you go. You can see, look, just
trying to skip past Tajeli there, who's defended his man really well very early on here. He's making sure that he's tracking his runs infield into those central positions as well.
You know my eyes are going. You saw me with glasses on earlier.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's not just a big match for the Lion City Sailors. It's a huge match for Tampines as well, because I don't think they'll count themselves out of the title race. Got something like 3 games in hand over Albrechts Nagata, this being one of those. And look, it's also huge for Singapore football, for Singaporean football fans. It's a league that's been dominated by the foreign sides. The last local team to win it was Warriors FC. And I think everyone's really looking forward to the fact that we've actually got a proper title race here, and we've got local sides like the Lion City Sailors, like Tampines Rovers, keeping pace with Albrechts Nagata at the top of the table.
Certainly have. A long way to go in this one, though. We're not even 10 minutes old. Bayaki just tries to nod that one away. Gabriel comes inside, but mopped up yet again by Emerald, who's been quite busy down this left-hand side in the opening exchanges. Shazwan, well, that was nice, calm and cool. Helped on by Nakamura. Here is Amaral. Little clip from behind there. Bosniak goes to ground and Tajeli just says, "What, me?" And yes, says the referee. Mohammed blew the whistle straight away.
And again, Tajeli just making sure he was nice and tight on Bosniak there, following him into those midfield areas if need be. That's okay, it's a foul in an area that isn't really going to trouble the Lion City Sailors.
Bennett steps in and just flicks it forwards. Kapitovic helps it on. Bosniak. And he is again. Now you can see what he was trying to do, but that was well read. No foul though, a little nudge in the back. Much to the dismay of Tajeli.
Yeah, that's all right. I think, referee just, we've seen it a couple of times already in the opening stages of this game. Referee just letting a couple of things go. Just trying to let the flow of the game develop here. Again, you just see quite clearly what the pattern of play is going to be for Tampines. Yes, they can be patient in possession, but they're always going to try and work the ball out to Bosniak down this left-hand side. Tajeli has got his eye on him. He's always making sure that he's got his focus. Yes, he's looking at the ball. Yes, he needs to tuck in. He's going to be tucking in, but just trying to open himself up so he can see. There you go. As it comes across to this side of the pitch, just making sure he just closes down onto Bosniak, anticipating a pass.
Oh, looking to work the ball yet again. Boris just laying it off and being that target man that we've seen all season. 12 goals so far in this campaign. Now Faris not happy that that was given against him, and it's already been taken quickly. Nice ball threaded forwards though. Well read, well intercepted. And just couldn't keep that one in play.
Yeah, good reading of the game by the young left back. Again, he's had his season disrupted by injuries a little bit, but certainly is one for the future. Lots of potential. I think it's just the way he went into that challenge there. I mean, to me, he got the ball. That's what Harris is saying to the referee as well. It's just that he goes over the top here.
Yeah, the foot did look as though it went over the top, you'll see here. But he's actually tried to scoop it back. You've got a feel for the lad.
I probably would have just waved play on, but you can see the assistant referee on the far side flagging as well.
Chance here yet again, though, for Tampines to throw one into the box and cause a few issues to this Lion City Sailors defence. Big guns are forwards from the back, so Bennett there, Bayaki there. What kind of quality ball will be thrown in? That's the big question. Well, it's drilled in near post, he's gone for goal, and he's not a million miles away, Mehmedovic.
Well, the way he reacted, it looked like he actually meant to do that. Aim towards the near post there. It's an interesting bit of setup because he actually had Kapitovic just pushing himself into an offside position. Going to catch that defence off guard, providing a bit of a distraction, and Hassan almost got caught off guard in goal.
Chance again, delivered in. Well, the header, it's just skimmed off the head this time of Bosniak. It's going to go out for a throw-in. No, he did. He went for that near post. I think he was trying to size up Hassan and say, look, I'm going to go for that far post or hang it up there, and then nearly caught him out. It was a good save in the end.
He had to scramble across pretty quickly there, Hassan.
Oh, Amaral just letting that one go, showing a little bit of experience, the 25-year-old. Just let that roll in across his body.
Yeah, he's another one who's been very steady for the Lion City Sailors in central defence. Amaral formed quite a good partnership with Georges Philippe. the centre of that Sailors defence.
Good play from Jalan. Now a chance to attack again. Tajeli almost lost possession. Lovely footwork and a great piece of skill from Gabriel Quack. Slightly overcooked though. Bayaki not happy with Gabriel, saying, "What did you leave your foot in for?" A little shake of the head.
Yeah, teammates at international level. No friendships here.
Oh, well, when you cross those white lines,
that goes out the window.
Oh, you always want to beat your mate, that's for sure.
Wonderful work by Gabriel Kwak there early on as well, just to beat Amirul.
Taken short. Can he deliver? Yes, he can. It's deep. They're looking for a penalty. Nothing there. Is that Jalan? Pulls the trigger. Pushed away. Not far enough. The flag's gone up, though. It wouldn't have counted. Heikel just pulls his shot wide. Well worked there from Lion City Sailors. Jalan left all alone at the far post. And then Heikel had snuck in, but was in an offside position.
It's wonderful work by Jalan here. It is Heikel in an offside position, but Harris and Stipe were actually onside there if it had fallen to them. But a good technique by Jalan that he shows here, just to set himself up with his chest straight down. And Shazwan does enough just to punch it away, or palm it away, I should say.
That's good defending there from Amirul. Just allowing Boris to have the touch first. Boris Kobidovic. Then just nipping in front of him and picking his pocket, which means possession is with the Lion City Sailors, and it's with Faris Ramli now. Faris, a little check back from him, has Gabriel, looks up to the far post, Heikel pulls it back, it's gone across the face of goal. Bayaki just hacks it clear.
Yeah, again, good work down this right-hand side. On this occasion, it's Faris Ramli who gets played in behind. I just needed a softer touch there from Heikel, just to lift it back into the 6-yard box where Stipe was waiting to pounce.
This time, it's the Sailors that just work the ball. Harris just flicks it out wide. A bit of time and space again. Been very industrious so far this first half as Heikel.
Yeah, Heikel getting himself forward down the left-hand side there, but most of the attacking moves, the promising ones, anyway for Lion City Sailors, have been happening down this right-hand side. Some pretty decent rotations between Gabriel and Faris Ramli down the right. Just taking turns to have a go at Amirul.
And the referee calling back play to take the throw from the correct position. You are right, it will increase to 1,000 fans from the 19th. Has been confirmed a little bit earlier today. Good to see more fans back in the stadium as well. No free kick awarded there. And you can see he's not happy with that. Martin saying and feeling that he was lent on there and pushed aside.
It's going to be a nice battle there between those two. Two very talented young players. Mark Tan is always going to give as good as he gets, and he's got plenty of pace. He works very hard down the right-hand side, and so does Nur Adam Abdullah, left back. Lovely flick in behind for Faris.
Well, the support's there. It's a lovely ball played in. Bennett there, though, clearing it behind for a corner. Got his head there first.
Finding a nice bit of space here. The way Gabriel just come out to hug the touchline here, just to provide Lion City Sailors with that width, and he draws the defender on towards him as well. And then Faris Ramli with that run in behind to provide that option in behind the Tampines defence.
Well, we saw what almost happened a few moments ago. Can it be repeated? Gabriel with a ball in, it's decent. Bayaki goes and attacks it. Little nudge in the back, no, said the referee. Harris just lays it off. Faris retains possession. Jalan hangs it up at the far post, looking for Gabriel again, but just a little bit too far for him. So it all comes to nothing.
Yeah, it was a nice idea. Just a bit too much weight on the pass there, on that diagonal ball into Gabriel. Had a bit of space to work with if they could find him. Tampines again just look to pass it out from the back. Shot goal kick.
Well, again, they are pressing a little bit higher up the field of play. I didn't think there was any chance really that Faris was going to get that from Bayaki. He just put that big frame in the way and there was no way he was getting near that ball. Not clearing their lines though. Jalan just helps it on. Plazavat gets a second bite of the cherry, but the ball did hit the referee, which means, of course, a drop ball nowadays. Never see a contested drop ball now, ever.
No, it's I kind of miss it actually.
But you do. I mean, a lovely 1-2 with the referee, of course. But
yeah, going to go Tampines' way, of course.
Yep, if it does hit the official and it stops, or it gives the advantage with somebody passing the ball, the referee will blow the whistle and have a drop ball. Well, we were wondering and we were asking the question whether Tampines, having last played a league game back in May, would be a little bit rusty, even though they have had the Champions League, but it doesn't look that way, and it doesn't look that way here. Mark Tan doing ever so well to cut it back, but the clearance comes from Amaral yet again.
Yeah, he had an option of Kapitovic, who was just waiting for the cutback to arrive. It's always going to be difficult for the cutback to get into Kapitovic. Just Mark Tan actually wanted him to attack the 6-yard box.
That was a brilliant turn from Faris Ramli. Gabriel's on the ball now, cuts inside, it's still Gabriel. Gabriel goes for goal, but pulls the shot wide. Well, a chance there and half a chance for Gabriel Quack. But I tell you, that little turn in the middle of the park from Faris Ramli to open himself up and feed it into Gabriel was sublime. It was just the finish that was missing.
Yeah, wonderful flowing move by the Sailors here. And again, good technique under pressure there, just to open the pitch up and play it into Gabriel. Amirul's having a torrid time out there at left back. It's quite clear that they're targeting him down that side of the pitch. And it just seemed for the moment like the Tampines defense was actually inviting Gabriel to have a crack at goal.
Well, he's a youngster, isn't he, Amaral? Just 21 years old. Not seasoned, as it were, in terms of some of the players on the pitch, particularly the likes of a Gabriel Quack, of course, who's 30 years old. Chance here, though, as Faris Ramli's on the ball. He has got Plazabat in the middle. He's got Gabriel Quack. That was better, though, from Amaral.
Yep.
Good defending on that occasion, where he read the danger and came in and cleared it.
Yeah, much better from the young man. Good reading of the game in that situation. He just spotted that Gabriel just peeled off, looking for that cutback. Came across to avert the danger with a good challenge. And I think Stipe had accelerated into the 6-yard box there. He wanted Faris to just play it into him rather than looking for the cutback. But the Sailors looking very good.
Just that last pass that's letting the Sailors down at the moment in that final third. The build-up, the play, the way that they're attacking is all working, but it's just that last ball in. Well, again, look at the pressure that they're applying. The white shirts are closing down the black shirts and giving them no time. Great ball in, just over Plazabat, though. Amaral has to deal with it this time. Gets a little bit fortuitous with the bounce there. Nice ball into the channel, though, but that's always going to be Amaral who's going to be the favourite as he mops things up nice and easily.
Yeah, the big problem for Tampines here is they've really struggled to get any sort of passing game going. Passers aren't finding their targets, losing the ball too easily. And again, once you do that, you're inviting that pressure onto you.
Tajeli, decent ball fired in as well. Heiko coming in round the back, just tucked away from Iwan Shah. Jalan just pokes it back, but Plazavat is going to try and close down. No real chance of getting that one, though.
Yeah, again, in midfield, Land City Sailors just picking up all the second balls. And then reconstruct, take their time. patient until those opportunities and those openings arrive. You can just see Faris Ramli with that freedom to move across that forward line as well. He is playing on the shoulder of Kyoga Nakamura.
Well, they were a little bit more rigid with Diego Lopez there last game. Almost like a 4-4-2 formation. Whereas this time, it's almost like a 4-4-1-1, isn't it? With, as you mentioned, Faris Ramli dropping in that hole and also exploiting that right-hand side as well and making runs in there, allowing Gabriel to come inside.
Yeah, he's got that freedom, as I said, freedom to move across that forward line, and at times he's linking up with Gabriel in those areas. Other times he's just dropping off, making sure he's giving an option to the central midfielders to play it into him in behind Tampanese's midfield. Very difficult for defenses to track, really.
Siva Plazibat just with the layoff, helped on rather easily by Mehmedovic. He is again just sizing up the options, and Bayaki is the one that's free. Mehmedovic easily read there by Harris. That's experience for you.
And it's good defending as a pair in the centre of that back line there. You had Kopitovic just backing into Amirul Radli, and Harris took that responsibility onto himself to just step forward and cut out that pass.
Michael couldn't get the cross in. They have got white shirts forwards though. Shadan just helps it on to Amirul, back to Shadan. Patience order of the day at the moment. No, Adam cutting inside, has options, Quack's one of them, but good defending yet again by Aki. Those two having a little bit of a ding-dong, shall we say, as you said, the national teammates.
Yeah, it's, look, I mean, it's great for us, the neutral. We're watching, we're enjoying these little battles across the park. You don't mind if you get a little bit physical at times as well. Don't really want to see players hugging each other when they're supposed to be trying to do you? Being all friendly on the pitch.
Afterwards, it's okay. Well, Dan Bennett just a little shrug of the shoulders there as the ball was given away. There's going to be a water break, so who's had the edge so far for you, Roshan, and why?
Yeah, I think it's been the Lion City Sailors who have had the better of this first half so far, and they've created lots of opportunities. Openings down the right-hand side, especially with the movement of Faris Ramli. At times he comes out across to link up with Gabriel on his right-hand side. Tajeli's had a very good game as well, off the ball, making sure he's keeping track of Bosniak. And they've really struggled, Tampines, to get their passing game going, to get any sort of rhythm because of how high the Lion City Sailors are pressing them and the pressure that they're putting Tampines under. There's also been a few sloppy passes by a couple of these Tampines Rovers players. The Lion City Sailors definitely the happier of the two sides going into this water break. Just as we mentioned, it's that final ball.
Yeah, it's the final ball, and we only need a goal, and we will have a goal fest, that's for sure, because the other side just won't have it, and they will come out and they'll want to score goals. And that's the beauty of this one and the way that it's poised. The whistle goes, that means it's time to get back. Well, we mentioned that these two sides had drawn back on the 13th of March, 3-3. And yeah, it was Song and Gabriel that scored in the 5th and 6th minute before Madhu scored to make it 2-1. Gabriel then got his second of the game in the 58th minute, but 63 and 68 was the man missing out today. Yasir Hanapi, his brace meant that the spoils were shared. Not that story last year, 1-1, but then the game before that, that was the second game they played. The first game, it was a 4-0 victory to Tampines Rovers. That back in March the 18th, 2020. So, not a gimme by any means at the moment. Great footwork there and great ability to just skip past the challenges. He's keeping it going as well, Nur Adam. He's gone and had a go. And that's brave from the 20-year-old fullback.
Yeah, wonderful driving run by the young man. Just cutting in field, pushing on and taking that opportunity. I mean, his attacking teammates were marked up and decided, look, it's not going to be a passing option on for me here. I'm just going to go and have a go at goal myself. But it's interesting. I mean, that game you mentioned, that defeat, that 4-0 defeat, the hands of Tampines Rovers, was actually the last time the Lion City Sailors have actually failed to score in the league. I think it's 25 matches now that they've gotten themselves at least a goal. And if we're going down that route, Tampines Rovers, they've scored at least a goal in the last 46 matches in the league.
Wow.
So you talk about being guaranteed goals. I'd say there's a high chance we're going to see some goals here.
Well, one of the men who scored on that day trying to get on the end of that, even though the flag's gone up for offside. Did you know 3 of the players playing today scored in that game as well? The only one that's missing is Jordan Webb. Mehmovic scored, Jalan scored, and so did Big Bad Boris, as you like to call him. Still 0-0. We've just had the water break. We're coming up to the half-hour mark. The Lion City Sailors having the lion's share, I think it's fair to say. Just that final ball that's lacking. Will it come? That's the question. No, Adam. Well defended. You mentioned about bringing that experience in, and it was shown there with Iwan Shah.
Yeah, he stood up. I mean, he was inviting Faris onto him, but eventually decided that needed to make that challenge, couldn't back off anymore. Otherwise, he would have been inviting Faris all the way into the penalty area, and he put in a really good challenge there. But again, that link-up play just between Stipe and Faris working really well for the Lion City Sailors. And that's what I mean about Stipe Plasibat, and that's why he's picked up the sort of assist numbers that he has this season. 5 assists, and he's not afraid just to be a part of that build-up play.
Nice ball over the top, looking for Gabriel. He's got the pace to get there as well. He's no slouch, Gabriel. Has always been quick. Is that a corner? Yes, they've won themselves another corner. 3rd corner of the game for the Lion City Sailors.
Well, just look like they're keeping the near post free to go and attack.
It's hung up at the back post though. Harris with a little nick on. Shadan back in. Plasibat was going to be nowhere to be seen as Kovidovic clears his lines.
And again, I mean, it's really well defended by Noor Adam.
A wasted opportunity though. Again, that final ball into the box from the Lion City Sailors. Well read and well won back. Now there's a chance. Kovidovic bursts into the box. Has to check back, waits for support, but he's played it all the way back to Iwan Shah. But that was well read by Haikal. Now the counter-attack's on. Plasibat out wide. Haikal. The 22-year-old dropping the shoulder coming in. And the man who's nearly twice his age with the sliding challenge to dispossess him. Nice ball flicked out wide from Mehmovic. Bosniak. Can he deliver quality? Gets to the byline, cuts it back. Harris gets there first. Danger not clear yet, though. They're not dealing with the ball at all. And on the turn, Kovidovic should really have done better.
Well, given an opportunity to clear the ball away from danger, that the Lion City Sailors didn't take it. And it's been for them one of the difficulties at times that they've had, the Sailors, is they've got the league's joint best defense at the moment. Similar sort of record to Elbrechts, actually. 14 goals conceded. But at times, some of the goals that they have conceded have come about from individual errors, or they've just been a little bit careless in certain situations at the back. I'll tell you what, the way the Sailors have been playing in this game so far, it's I'd say the best performance we've seen for them since Kim Do-hoon has come in into the side to take charge.
Yeah, it was never going to be an overnight revolution or change. It does take a little bit of time, and It will take him time to understand his players and know what suits and fits as Plazabat twists and turns and retains possession. Clips it forwards, he's onside as well. Gabriel's through, one-on-one, over the keeper and into the back of the net. His 9th goal of the season. And he's been a revelation coming in from wide this year. And he's just adding quality to his pace. No question, no query. Lovely ball played through from Stipe Plazibat. But it's Gabriel Quake that makes absolutely no mistake and puts the Lion City Sailors 1-0 up.
It was coming. The warning signs were there. And what did I tell you about Stipe Plazibat? Dropping into midfield here, gets his head up, gets time on the ball. Picks out a beautifully weighted pass into the run of Gabriel Quack, who keeps his composure and just lifts it over Shazwan. Wonderful run from outside in. Question marks about the defensive line, perhaps. I think it's Bennett who's playing him onside. And just lifting it over the goalkeeper, Gabriel, to get his 9th goal of the season.
And he gets a high five from his manager as well. It was well worked, though. And again, the difference there, Plazabat dropping into that midfield role, allowing Gabriel to make that run.
Yep.
And it worked to perfection.
That's what he brings. That's what he brings. His style of play, it reminds me a little bit of, and forgive me my indulgence a little bit with this, is a bit Firmino-ish.
Well, we could have another one here. Faris Ramley bearing down on goal. Faris squares it. Plazabat makes no mistake. So we've had someone who's got their 9th of the season. How about a dozen for Plazabat? No mistake from 10 yards out. 2 goals in a minute means that the Lion City Sailors stamp their authority on this game.
Wow. Incredible counter-attack by the Lion City Sailors here. Look at how quickly they get forward. And again, it's Faris Ramley causing all sorts of issues. This time, Stipe Plazibat is on hand with a simple finish in the end. But they worked so hard to get themselves into this position. And that's where they deserve that credit. Absolutely destroying the Tampines Rovers on that quick counter-attack.
Well, who needs Diego Lopez when you can score 2 goals in a minute like that? They have been in control of this one. There's no doubts as we approach the half-time interval. But it's definitely Tampines that are shaken. And it's shown from that kickoff as they kick it straight into touch. They need to regroup themselves very, very quickly.
Yep, said there would be goals. Thankfully, we've already got 2 of them, so I'm off the hook.
Me too.
And look, it's got similarities as well, as we just see Bosniak unhappy with Tajeli. He's complaining of persistent fouling. But this is a position that Tampines have been in before. The first meeting between these 2 sides, let's remember again, Lion City Sailors went off to a great start. Scored 2 very quick goals early on, 2-0. Madu Mohana pulled 1 back. And then eventually it ended 3-3. So let's see what kind of response the Stags can muster up here.
Always remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. There is still 45 minutes in the second half to come. There's still 8 plus a minute or 2 of stoppage time, so this is far from over, but they need to regroup themselves and get that composure sooner. Chance here for Bosniak to try and twist and turn to get a cross in. Challenge comes in, it's just hooked up the line, but it did take a deflection. Throw in Tampines, time and space for Amaral, delivers its quality, but it's going to be straight into the hands of big Hassan Sunny, who picks that one out of sky and says thank you very much.
Yeah, simple enough claim for Hassan Sani there. Goalkeeper of his quality. Never really going to be troubled by that.
He hasn't had a save to make. Yeah, just that one, the free kick that was bent in at that near post.
Oh yes, that's one from Mamedovic.
Yeah, Mamedovic was the one that did that. That's all he's really had to do. Mind you, in saying that, Shazwan hasn't really had that much to do either, have they? But we've got 2 goals. That's the most important thing. It's going to open everything up nicely. Because Tampines will have to come out and play a little bit more now, but they keep giving the ball away. Harris plays it forward. Plazabat from that area that he threaded the ball through for that second goal. And they win the throw in. Here's Jalan. Just taking the sting out of the game. Just a little bit.
Yeah, which, look, you'd expect, and you can't blame the Lion City Sailors for this at all. Perhaps they didn't quite need to play that pass. Sorry, we're just talking about taking the sting out of it. I mean, it's Tampines Rovers. It's set up so nicely for the Sailors here. It's Tampines Rovers that will have to open up. They're going to have to chase the look for goals. They're going to have to take a few more risks as the game goes on. And that is going to suit the Sailors perfectly. But you see, the Stags just keep losing possession so easily in the centre of the park.
Chance here, was that handball? Surely that was a handball. The referee's blown the whistle, but the linesman hasn't done anything. Well, the referee's going to show Bayaki the yellow card, and it's yet another yellow card for Bayaki.
Yeah, they're just getting killed with the movement and losing it in these areas. We touched on Tampines Rovers losing the ball in dangerous situations, and because of the way they play in possession, they try and get players close to where the ball is, where the options are. But the moment they lose it, you've got these distances that the opposition can exploit.
Oh, it's his fourth yellow card of the season. He already had a red card by Aki, but they're going to have to defend here. Gabriel Quack it will be who will deliver. Just fires it deep. There's no one marking. They're headed back across, and if that was the right header, that's poor from Amaral. We'd expect a little bit more of a better header from him. That was a real opportunity and a real chance. There's no question about that.
There's quite a bit of space to work with at the back post, as you quite rightly mentioned.
When you have that time and space, you do expect
you need to pick out a teammate.
Have a little bit of quality when it comes back in. You're under no pressure. Goal here, though, for Tampines before half-time would make it an interesting game. And they're on the attack, and a real chance here. Boris rounds the keeper. Just tried to flick it into the middle, but couldn't wrap his foot around it enough. It's gone behind for a goal kick. But Boris Kibirovic trying to make inroads.
It was always going to be very difficult for him to finish from that angle. He's getting pushed wider away from goal there. And that's better from Tampines Rovers. And what we saw there as well in that situation, Kyoga Nakamura just picking up the ball in midfield. He's got that ability to take players on and try and make something happen. And I think that's something I'd like to see a little bit more from Tampines Rovers in that second half, or for the rest of this first half, and then into the second half as well. Because they haven't got their creative players in midfield on the ball enough.
But is that testament to the way that the Lion City Sailors have compacted it? They're not allowed them the time on the ball.
Absolutely. There's always two ways you can look at it, right, when you're analysing games. So it comes out to Bosniak here.
Can he deliver? He's got to the byline almost again. That's a goal kick, and that's the correct decision. He might be complaining, he might be arguing, but that is the correct decision. Good defending there from Tajeli.
Yeah, really well defended. Again, Tajeli has been very solid up against Bosniak. He hasn't been able to make any sort of impact. And Bosniak at times can be a little bit predictable in terms of his style of play. Just gets it. Just looks to try and, if you give him a bit of space on the ball, what he does is try to swing crosses in early for Kopitovic. But he hasn't been given any sort of opportunity to do that.
This Faris just dropping in the hole again, unmarked. As Amaral comes away with the ball, has time and space, helps it on. Onside is Gabriel. No, he's not. The flag's gone up. That will be incredibly close.
Whoa. Oof, I thought initially that he might have been on, you know, because Daniel Bennett had just dropped off. Thought he might have played him onside.
Nice ball flick forwards. Hassan comes a long way. It was a poor touch, really. Mahimovic, we've seen him with a little bit of a better touch before. Just let that one get away from him.
Yeah, he's not been at his best, Mehmedovic, in this first half. He's had a couple of loose touches. Hasn't quite found his passing range. But yeah, again, there's two ways you can sort of look at it. You can look at it from what Lion City Sailors have been doing well, and they've been, again, that's a great example of how aggressive they've been in their pressing, how they're moving together as a team. And then from Tampines' point of view, they're not showing enough. You know, you got to expect in these games against sides like Lion City Sailors that they are going to be placing you under pressure. You need to have that quality and you need to be brave enough to play in tight spaces and to want to get on the ball and try and make things happen.
Well, they've conceded possession again. Plazabat, time and space, looks up, and he's onside. Bennett stepped up there, and Heikel just couldn't get there. Dan Bennett recovering well.
Yeah, look, I know the way I talk about it, I make it sound so easy, right? I've had my best games from the commentary position. We all play our best matches. But look.
I'm shaking my head next to him, don't worry, if you're wondering why he's laughing.
Look,
no, you're right.
I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy for these players out there, especially when they're being put under sort of pressure that the Lion City Sailors are putting them under. Telling you what's required for them or of them to try and turn this around.
They just can't get close to them at the moment. Jalan with a beautiful little 1-2 and has 10 yards to run into. Bayaki steps up and just blocks him out. Oh, Bayaki's been yellow carded already, so he needs to be careful.
I was going to say chasing shadows. On that occasion, chasing Shadans in midfield.
I like that.
You can keep it. You can have it.
A little, the little give and go, but
yeah.
It's the space they've got to move into. Taken quickly again. No one away. Gabriel Quack, time and space, delivers left-footed. Bayaki this time heads it clear. Oh, Boris couldn't keep that one in play either. Well, as we come to the end of the first 45, there will be 2 minutes of time added on. As you can hear now from the stadium announcer as well.
2 minutes.
And see from the board that's raised. It's a lot of hard work to be done at half-time by Gavin Lee and his side.
Yeah, listen, I wouldn't surprise me if we were to see Yasser Hanapi coming on in the second half to give them a bit more quality in the ball, in those attacking areas.
He's been struggling though, hasn't he? That was the rumour that was going around, that he'd had a little niggle, which is why he hasn't started today. But they do need some experience in there to try and shore things up a little bit more. They've been totally overrun here. Gabriel Quacks through again here, if it's played. Nur Adam tried to feed it into Heikel, just went the wrong way. Now they could get caught open. Fanish tracking back in there, putting the challenge in. Jalan as well. And Jalan wins the free kick, much to the dismay of that young man.
Just looking really off the pace here, Tampines. And again, that's another great example of how they struggled to get anything going. Mehmedovic had lots of time and space on the ball, and there was an option in Mark Ryan Tan on that right-hand side. It's space to go and exploit. He dallied on it. In the end, it was Nur Adam Abdullah took the ball off him. They just look a lot hungrier, the Lion City Sailors. The way they're going into challenges, the way they're moving together, how quickly they're closing down as a unit. They look much fitter at the moment.
Oh, I know they've been working incredibly hard on their fitness under Kim Do-hoon. Koreans renowned for that with their sides and ensuring that the sides are physically fit and strong. Tajeli having to track and trace all the way back in here. Pozniak can't keep it in play. 2 minutes are up. The referee will probably let this go just for a minute or so, and then we will have a half-time break. Amaral taking his time. And the referee says that will do. So it was a 45 minutes that saw the Lion City Sailors come out all guns blazing. They pressed high. They ensured that Tampines were pushed back. But they had to wait for the goal. And when it finally came, it came in the 34th minute. It was Gabriel Quack that managed to put the ball in the back of the net to make it 1-0. It was Stipe Plazibat that then made it 2 just 2 minutes later. At half-time here, it's Lion City Sailors 2, Tampines Rovers 0. Welcome back to the Singapore Premier League, and of course it's the Lion City Sailors that find themselves 2 goals up and 2 goals to the good against Tampines Rovers, and it has really been them that has been in charge, hasn't it, Roshan? There's no question about it. Literally from that first minute, the Lion City Sailors set their stall out.
Yeah, look, they started out with a really good tempo, and they were looking to just try and press that Tampines Rovers side as high as they possibly could, and playing with a very good intensity, winning the ball in central midfield areas. Lots of good movement in those attacking positions as well. Forrest Ramley, Gabriel Kwok switching positions. Although we did have a chance early on here from the Tampines Rovers through Mehmedovic. Was just looking to catch Hassan Sani off guard at the near post there. And then Lion City Sailors started to get a rhythm. There was a chance here for Shadan Sulaiman. Punched away, palmed away by Shazwan, and Heikel was just caught in an offside position.
Gabriel Kwak's been impressive today, hasn't he? Down this right-hand side. He's been cutting inside, he's been creating issues, and he's gone close as well as get his goal.
He certainly has. And again, he's got plenty of time and space here to actually have a crack at goal. They don't close him down. They're inviting him to have a shot there. They're backing off and backing off. And he's going to take the opportunity and the invitation to have a shot at goal. On that occasion, goes just wide. But again, just the player who set that up for him was Faris Ramli, who's got that freedom to roam across those forward lines. On this occasion, Nur Adam Abdullah, who's been very impressive defensively, worked hard off the ball to keep a hold of Mark Tan, and then they're just trying to create an opportunity for himself.
And here's the goal. Plazabat dropping into that hole, allowing Faris Ramli to make a run ahead of him. And it's just an out-to-in run from Gabriel Kwak. It's football, simple football, 101.
Yeah, look, as I said on the commentary there, Stipe Plazibat, he's got this in his locker. He's a creator, he's a goal scorer, he's so complete as a forward. And then to just drop off into those midfield areas, it's that invitation for those other attacking players and then fill in those central areas. On this occasion, Gabriel Kwak getting his timing of his run spot on. And have a look at this one as well. They win the ball in midfield and they burst forward so quickly. And when you've got that defense disorganized, as Tampines Rovers have in that situation, you know, Lion City Sailors, with the quality of the players that they've got, time and space, is just going to pick their spot. Forrest Ramley with that assist, Stipe Plazibat on hand to finish off on that occasion, but just absolutely destroying Tampines Rovers. The intensity of their game, the tempo of their game, and how organized they are with their closing down, and how aggressive they are with their closing down, especially in those midfield areas.
But this game's not over. There's no question about that, because we do know that they came again, and they've had the odd little half chance here and there, haven't they, Tampines? But they just haven't made it count.
Yeah, look, they haven't really sort of made it count at all. They haven't really gotten their key players like Nakamura and Mehmedovic in the game. It's been a little bit sloppy at times, and you can see there, I mean, Mace, the stats support the fact that the Sailors have been the dominant side in this one. Yes, you've had 3 shots at goal from the Tampines Rovers, but the quality of the shots, what are the quality of the shots? And I don't think they've created enough high-quality chances in that first half, whereas the Lion City Sailors have created some really good opportunities and they've gotten their reward with those 2 goals.
So what do Tampines Rovers need to do this second half? Yes, they've got to get themselves back in. We know it was 3-3 early in the season, and the scoreline was similar to this, yet they still had to go in that second 45 minutes. How can Gavin change it at half-time?
It wouldn't surprise me if you think of the bench that they've got Yasser Hanapi, they've got Taufik Suparno, who's coming back from a meniscus injury. If we see those 2 players coming on, or maybe even just one of those 2 players, just to try and change it up a little bit. I don't think Iman Hakim has been very effective in the center of the park. Again, my advice to the players, at those simple situations, make sure you're passing it along a lot quicker, because you're losing it in dangerous areas and you're sloppy at times. That's got to be cut out of your game.
Will we see more goals in the second 45 minutes? Join us in a few minutes' time and find out, and see if Tampines Rovers can get back into this one. Very warm welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium. We currently have the Lion City Sailors, and they are going at it with Tampines Rovers. But what have we got next week? Balestier Khalsa will take on Tampines Rovers. That's on the 19th. On the 20th, we've got Tanjung Pagar United taking on Lion City Sailors. Will we see a repeat today? Will there be more goals? Who will be victorious? Tanjung Pagar, of course, winning just the other day as well. Jalan need to bounce back. They're away at Hougang on the 20th as well. And the Young Lions take on Albrechts Niigata, who will look to cement themselves at the top of the table. But victory today and victory against Tanjung Pagar for the Lion City Sailors would see them go to the top of the table on goal difference until Albrechts play. And that could be just a little psychological barrier that has been knocked down, and ask a question of Albrechts Niigata.
Yeah, I think it'll be the first real time this season that we've seen actually the position switch there in terms of the pressure then being on the Japanese side. But as we have a look at that confirmation of the halftime score, as if we needed it, Gabriel Quack opening the scoring for them in the 34th minute, Plazibat adding a goal a couple of minutes. It's well deserved, isn't it? The lead that they've got here going into the halftime break. It's just been a wonderfully controlled performance by the Lion City Sailors. Wonderful aggression and intensity that they've shown in this game. But you're right to point out the fact that next week, the games that are coming up, the Sailors with that opportunity then to go top and put that pressure on the Japanese side, Albrechts Niigata.
They've got to do it here today, though. That's it. There's 45 minutes to go, and they need to get the job done. If they don't, well, questions will be asked, flags will be raised. So it's a big ask for them today to see this one completely over the line. Will Tampines make any changes at half-time? That's the question that we'll be wondering, and that's a question that will be answered in a few moments' time as well, I'm sure. But they do say that winning is a habit. Is losing a habit? With what happened in the Asian Champions League, has that affected Tampines today?
I think it's a lack of rhythm. It's a lack of fitness. It's an issue with playing at the tempo, and it's something that we've not seen from them for a while. And we see that difference with the Lion City Sailors, the way they're snapping into those challenges, the fitness levels. They look a lot better than Tampines Rovers at the moment on that front. That organization as well, the way they're closing down together quickly. How aggressive they are in those movements, in those motions, in those moments, and how quickly they get forward then to transition and absolutely punish Tampines Rovers. We're about to see Hafiz, getting ready to come on. It's Lion City Sailors, the ones who are making the change.
Yeah, it's Heikel we're hearing is going to be replaced. So first throw of the dice has been by Kim Do-hoon. Heikel out. Hafiz Noor in. Well, the 32-year-old has experience. There is going to be a change on the other side as well. And it is going to be Yasser Hanapi that comes on. There's confirmation of Hafiz coming on and Heikel going off. And it's going to be Mark Tan that goes off for Tampines Rovers. And it is going to be Yasser that comes on. Needs that experience, even if he has been struggling with a little niggle and a little knock. He's got to throw him in to try and get this game back.
Yeah, look, I thought at halftime that he'd be one of the changes that Tampines Rovers would look to make, just to add a lot more quality on the ball, more composure in possession, especially in those attacking positions. I'm a bit surprised it was Mark Tan. I thought he was looking to be very industrious down that right-hand side, although Noor Adam kept him quiet in that 45. I wasn't too impressed with the other young man in central midfield, Iman, but it's more minutes for him. It's another opportunity to shut me up and prove me wrong with an improved performance in the second half. So let's see how they sort of set up here, because they let go of an out-and-out winger in Mark Tan. So it's going to be a bit of an adjustment as well to how Tampines Rovers set themselves up here for the second half.
Well, it could just be that Bosniak could go on to the right-hand side. Yasser in the hole, a little tweak in the formation. It was pretty much a 4-1-4-1, as you mentioned before the game, but this one they can tweak a little bit more now. They've got to be a little bit more direct. And that being said, we did highlight it during the first half about the final pass from Lion City Sailors wasn't good enough. They got it right on 2 occasions, and they still need to keep that going this second 45. But it is Tampines that get us underway, kicking from left to right, and straight away looking to retain possession. but they give it away. Faris Ramli, time and space, has a runner outside him as well. The little reverse pass, a lovely one as well. 20 seconds into the second 45. It's goal. Is that going to be game, set and match? And it is the youngster, Saifullah Akbar, who makes absolutely no mistake with a lovely, lovely finish. But yet again, the Stags shoot themselves in the foot.
They lose it in midfield again. And once more, it's the Jalan City Sailors who congest the space in the centre of the park. But they've absolutely destroyed Tampines Rovers on these counter-attacks, on these quick transitions. What a cool, composed finish by this young man, Saifullah Akbar, his 4th goal of the season. Made sure he could make up the ground there after winning the ball, accelerated into that space in behind that defence, and then did the most important part right by finishing.
Everything that Gavin turned around and said to his Tampines players at half-time, it's just gone out the window. It really has. I mean, that's just 20 seconds. It was actually 18 on the clock when that ball hit the back of the net, and you don't expect that as a coach. So let's see the character and let's see the resolve of this Tampines side. Given away yet again. They do manage to scramble it back and keep possession. Well, we just mentioned about winning being a habit, losing being a habit as well. And when you're down, people don't let you back up. They'll kick you when they're down when it's football.
And you've seen it with Jalan City Sailors in that first half. They kept going, and look, they smell blood here. And it's a chance to deal a huge blow to one of their rivals as Faris steals this off Nakamura.
Goal. The goal's going to be given, and he's probably going to book the goalkeeper as well. But yet again, what are Tampines doing? That is the question here. It's absolutely ridiculous defending. They give the ball away yet again. Faris Ramli onto it in a flash. And Plazibat says, well, I don't mind getting my second of the game. Sloppy play. Bennett just plays it inside. Nakamura caught standing and waiting. Onto it like a flash, just to flick it forwards. And Stipe Plazibat, no mistake.
And coming into this game, what did I say? Nakamura and Mehmedovic, the 2 players to watch in the centre of the park. And it's Jalan City Sailors have done their homework. Every time it goes into them, they're quick to try and close them down. Just far too casual in that situation. Hey, look, Tampines Rovers, this is starting to look like the AFC Champions League campaign all over again.
That's why I said, and I wasn't being funny, winning is a habit, losing is a habit, and when you are conceding and shipping goals for fun, you have to address that. Now, whether you put 5 at the back or you drop more people in there to defend, you cannot keep conceding goals like that. Well, Plazibat's not going to mind. He's got himself a brace today. Faris Ramli has been a little bit of an inspiration, it has to be said, dropping into holes and causing issues and problems. But Tampines, as we said, they've only got themselves to blame. All 4 goals, poor defensively.
Yeah, they've shot themselves in the foot. They've made errors that you don't expect them to make. It's players just switching off, making sloppy passes, whatever it is. I mean, Jalan City Sailors are just happy to gobble up those errors.
Well, I think we're averaging 6 goals so far this week in every game. Well, not far off, so we don't want to be greedy. No, we do. We want goals. We want to make sure that Tampines come out and really do have a bit of a go now. A little bit of pride pulling that shirt on. Because as you mentioned, Jalan City Sailors smelling blood here. That's a lovely turn from Bosniak. Just helps it on. Mehmedovic out wide. And Shah's not going to get there, but he does win it back and delivers as well a decent ball in. The header not cleared, but the strike coming in has gone out of the stadium. And you don't see it very often because the nets are so high, but that was a poor connection from Yasser Hanapi.
That's cleared the netting, gone into the car park.
There's some little kid running off down the road, I think I can see there with a ball as a souvenir.
I've seen it at the Jurong East Stadium as well, a couple of times when the match balls have gone out of the ground. Another reason to stick around and watch the SPL at the venues. You might run away with the match ball.
Quack. Just squares it. Yasser steps over. Well, he wanted the handball, but it wasn't going to be given. Hafiz Noor coming onto that. He was looking to bend it in. Dan Bennett had turned his back. It hit his arm from close range. No penalty, but corner.
Yeah, again, it's just how quickly they move. They get forward from the defensive phase into an attacking area. It's what we're more used to seeing from Albrecht's Negata. And it's something I've touched on over the last few weeks or so. Just Albrecht's having that ability to change that tempo of their game and go very quickly from back to front, front to back. And we're starting to see the Lion City Sailors employing that similar sort of style as well, upping their intensity, upping their tempo in key moments, moving it forward very quickly.
Corner drilled in, and it's almost an own goal. Well, Iman Hakim got his head there, but it went goal bound and hit the post. Danger not clear yet. Shadan fires it in with the right foot. This time Bennett clears, not far enough. Oh, it's a lovely little piece of skill on the edge of the box. Nicely teed up. Plazibat, who's on a hat-trick, lays it off but gives it away. Yassir gets it back and plays it forwards. Well, that was almost one of the most bizarre goals this season that you will have seen.
And again, it goes into Iman Hakim, and look, he's brave. He keeps showing for the ball. He's lost a couple of important passes out there. He's lost possession in a couple of key situations that have led to opportunities for the Lion City Sailors. He's still looking to put himself about, still looking to try and make something happen for his side. It's just not been his game, really.
Well, a little bit of a whinge and a moan up there from Bosniak. Said that Tajeli was pulling on the arm, and he was, and I think that that's just the last warning there. He has had the better of Bosniak today. There's a defence that's quite tight, and there's one that's been quite loose. Tajeli has helped that Lion City Sailors defence. Oh, when you think about it, just the solitary foreign player as well in Plazibat. No, George, he's out suspended. Diego Lopez injured. There's a half chance more than anything there. Just Iman bearing down on that header back from Dan Bennett, but skied high and wide.
Yeah, absolutely right to point that out. Lack of foreign players here for the Lion City Sailors. Very much a local lineup doing the business, and in some style as well.
And they've just got caught out there, though. There could be a chance here. Nakamura, time, space, shoots! Over the top, though. Half chance. Yet again, it's another half chance.
Yeah, first real loose pass that we've seen from the Lion City Sailors. Opportunity for Kyoga Nakamura just to drive forward into the space in front of him. Had to take it on his right foot, would have preferred it on his left.
Looks like we're seeing Taufik come on. He'll be on in a minute's time. He's just receiving some instructions down on the touchline, the 25-year-old. He'll be coming on, and it looks as though it's going to be Iman Hakim that goes off. They've got to defend here, though. Nice ball from Hafiz, looking for Gabriel. Gabriel checks inside, left foot inside, deflected over by Bayaki. Didn't get a full foot to it to clear it, but did just enough to steer it over the crossbar.
Just enough of a connection on the ball there. I think I was a bit concerned perhaps that he might have ended up in the back of the net. Thankfully for him and for Tampines Rovers, he's actually gone out for a corner. But the Lion City Sailors, every time they go forward, looking incredibly dangerous. And when it's your day, you know. It came off the back of Hafiz Noor.
Ball fired in. It's a little bit too deep, but Shadan will get there. Checks it back inside. Harris, little back heel from him. Faris goes in. Harris just dinks it into the far post. Headed away, though, not far enough. A little stumble and a little slip, though. Means that Seyfullah couldn't get the shot away. Gabriel Tajeli does well. Adam Noor again looking to try and get involved. Went close early on in the game. Shadan, he floats it in, but it's a little bit too high on that occasion. Fuller not going to get there on that occasion. Has worked incredibly hard, hasn't he, the young 22-year-old? His father coached Chennai City FC over in India. Took them to their first ever title and has coached at Tampines and Ceres as well. So his son very, very much in the father's mould.
Yeah, Saifullah is a player that I really enjoy watching. Really talented, and the best thing about him is, as well, is I said at the start, he works incredibly hard on and off the ball.
It's a nice ball over the top looking for Mahimovic, but the flag goes up, and you summed it up a minute ago. When it's your day, it's your day. So the opposite of that, when it's not your day, it's not your day. And it's very, very much not Tampines' day at the moment.
And just straying offside there, Mahimovic, in that situation. Looking right across the line as well.
That's the frustrating thing, isn't it? Here's that change. Taufik then is going to be coming on. It is going to be Iman Hakim that will go off. Second spell at the club for the former under-21 international, Taufik. Not easy to come on when you're 4-0 down. And Dan Bennett has been taken off as well, and it's Ryan who's back into the fray and into the fold.
That's another young player in there who's got a big future ahead of him, Ryan Sanizal. And I thought his performances in the AFC Champions League were impressive. One of the few positives for Tampines Rovers from that campaign.
He was the youngest player in the squad initially. I think that might have changed now. I've seen somewhere that they've got a younger player as well that's coming up who's almost 19. Andrew Owl, I think he's only 18, if I'm not mistaken. Ball over the top, not really going to catch out to Jelly, not the way that he's been playing today. That one's helped on. And Ryan with the header, picked up though by Hafiz Noor. Well, they're holding that line, so Hafiz goes himself. Faris has just got to check his run, so he stays on side. Hafiz looks up, 2 white shirts in the box. Plazabat just to the edge. Danger not cleared. Time and space. Plazabat, well, went for the little ding, didn't he?
Yeah, it's just, he had to readjust. He had to readjust very quickly and couldn't quite get the connection that he would have liked in that situation. Just too close to his feet as he hits the ball there. But just the pace, I mean, you just sit back and admire the pace at which the Lion City Sailors are playing at and how quickly they get themselves forward. And again, you had Saifullah making a late run from midfield to provide an option in the box. As Taufik gets himself involved for the first time since he's come on down his right-hand side. He's got Noor Anwar Abdullah ahead of him to try and beat. Goes into Nakamura.
Oh. Nice ball, lovely reverse pass. The little back heel, is it one back? Yes, it is. The flag stays down, it's no mistake. And it's Boris that gets himself on the score sheet as well. Well, we said the game's not over till it's over. Is that going to be one that starts what would be a miraculous comeback?
This is beautiful from Kyoga Nakamura. It's that no-look pass, just the disguise on the pass that he puts in there. He actually, when you look at Nakamura here, have a look at where he's looking at. It just looks like it's going to be a simple sideways pass. That's where his eyes are focused on. Catches that defense off guard, plays a delightful reverse ball into Mehmedovic, and then that back heel into Kopitovic for that finish.
Well, there's half an hour to go.
Comebacks on.
Do you believe in miracles? We're not quite at Christmas, but miracles do happen.
That's the first step anyway.
Correct. Let's see what they're about. Have they got enough to ensure they get back into this one?
Just Ryan Sanizal just getting clipped by Stipe Plazibat. He tried to carry the ball forward. We're going to see another change here.
Yep, it is Song that's going to come on. Back after injury. Sung Young.
Substitution for the Lion City Sailors, 17, Saifullah Akbar, replaced by 14, Song Young.
And it is going to be the man that scored who goes off.
Yeah, it's a well-deserved rest side fuller. Good to see Song back into the side as well. I think he picked up a red card in the last match before the break.
Oh, Yasser doing well there, just trying to create a yard for himself and hit the target, but to no avail. We may see the Sailors just try and slow this down a touch. It's very much Tampines that are pushing forwards now and trying to apply the pressure. There was a little push in the back there. The referee didn't see it. The linesman waved his flag. Yeah, it was a foul. There's no question about that, because Iwan Shah did have a little nudge down in front of us.
Yeah, it's taken a bit of time for the message to come across to the referee. I think what you want to just see here from the Lion City Sailors is just to manage this game a little bit more now. They don't need to be streaming forward on every occasion. They don't need to get so many bodies forward. You can almost just have a situation where you've got Song and Shadan just sitting in those central midfield positions, just to make sure you just try and kill off the tempo of that game and don't give Tampines Rovers an opportunity to get themselves back in this.
Chance here again, though. Boris! Went for that near post. Well, Boris Kabidovic bringing the best there out of Hassan Sunny, who had to go down very, very quickly to his left-hand side yet again.
Yeah, he was just looking for that near post, wasn't he?
Lovely kick out, though. Lovely kick as well to Faris, who finds Gabriel. And now the white shirts. This game's starting to ebb and flow and open up a little bit more. Here's Song. Well, that was basically his first kick since coming on and coming back into the game. Just didn't get over the top of the ball. Ball switched to the near side. Cushion there from Taufik. The ball played forwards. Can he keep that in play? Yes, he can. Yes, he's done ever so well there. Yes, Hanapi with 3 step-overs, waits for support. Ball floated in deep. Just a little bit too deep, though. Bosniak has black shirts in the box. However, that's headed away from Noadam. Song dispossessed. Taufik. Still Taufik. Still Taufik. Just popped out to the edge of the box, but Amaral leaning back, always going to fire that one over the top.
Yeah, it's a difficult shot from range for Amaral. It was off balance as he hit that one. But this is good. I mean, we're starting to see Tampines string a few passing moves together. It's been a little bit of switch in the setup as well, with Taufik coming out onto this right-hand side. That means Mehmedovic has moved back into a more of a central position, and he's getting involved in the game a bit more for Tampines Rovers.
I think the question will be is, why didn't they start this way?
Well, I think the phase of the game is different as well, with the Lion City Sailors now having that lead and wanting to just sit back a little bit more. That means that Tampines will have a bit more time in certain areas, like this, for example, to build out from the back. Well, as you noticed in the first half, the Sailors weren't giving Tampines Rovers that opportunity to play out from the back.
No, that's right. They were pushing right on. This man had dropped into the hole a couple of times, as he's done again. Stipe Plazibat plays it out wide to Gabriel. Oh, he's going to give the foul there. I think he's saying that Amaral was just hacking away at the feet, so an opportunity to swing one in.
Yeah, just sitting back a bit more, Lion City Sailors, and you can understand that. They just still have to maintain that intensity in the pressing and make sure the lines are nice and compact. It's no problem sitting back. You don't want to press high up. Just back a little bit and make sure you don't commit any sorts of sloppy errors. Back pass almost under hit by Tajali back into Hassan. Apologizes for that.
There was no way that he was going to underhit that one, though, was there? Hassan going straight through that. Ball over the top, and again it's Tajeli who's having to go back there to try and defend. Wozniak trying to twist and turn and roll, stays on his feet, dinks it into that far post area. That's hit the post. Taufik there came onto it, It had cleared everybody, and he side-footed it. Rather than lash at it, he's tried to pick his spot, and he's unlucky there. That could have been 4-2.
And what we're starting to see as well here is Bosniak just with that ability to get himself a bit of space, and we know this is what Bosniak loves to do. Get it on his right foot, swing crosses in. On that occasion, Taufik attacking it at the back post. Warning signs are there for the Lion City Sailors. What they want to try and do here is, you know, in the first half we saw them control the game with the ball and control the tempo by pressing higher up. What they want to do in the second half here is that they want to control the game by controlling space rather than possession of the ball. But again, the dangers are there. If they switch off in these moments, Tampines have got the quality to punish you.
Yeah, they have stopped that pressing game, which is what gave them that success and joy a little bit earlier on. Bayaki wins the header, and a little bit of a tussle. That's gone in favour of the defender. It is again. Bosniak looking to create that yard. Checks back. Has the support this time. Oops, a mistake there from Bayaki, but Ryan is there to mop and tidy things up.
Harris at the back, just making sure he's got that line organised, always talking to Amirul Adli. You see now they'll just wait for Tampines to come into midfield, and then that's when they'll look to try and be aggressive with their closing down. The Lion City Sailors.
Well, everything at the moment is in front of them, so they can see the man, they can see the ball. They're just keeping them at bay. Got the numbers behind, and you can see there the banks. There's a 4, and a 2. It's Faris Ramley and Plazabat that are doing the 2 up top. Everybody else is keeping shape. There's the big switch. Looking for Taufik, couldn't keep that in play though.
Yeah, that's better. Better from Lion City Sailors from a defensive perspective. More control in that situation, and Kim Do-hoon, team applauding his team. He's happy with that. No penetrative passes through the middle.
Halfway through the second half now. Still, the Lion City Sailors that are in the ascendancy. 4-1, they lead. Well, one back there from Faris. Song just turned straight to his man and, well, just grabbed Yasser.
He's given Yasser a hug on the way.
Well, you said about hugging earlier on, you see. That's the thing. They obviously heard you.
He must have been listening in. But yeah, I mean, just a loose touch by Song, allowing Yasser to get his body in the way there.
He hasn't got his touch since he's come on.
No.
That's the problem.
Yep.
And he needs to sort that out pretty quickly.
But it's wonderful work by Faris once again. I mean, he's been incredible in this game. Just his work rate, those 4 positions for the Sailors.
Decent ball in. Bayaki is up there, heads it straight in the air. Easy and comfortable though for Hassan, who just bowls it out. Song this time. He gets caught, and that's going to be a yellow card for Yasser Hanapi. The big question is was it? I think he's gone for the ball there, but he has caught the man a little bit.
I'll just have another look at that. So it gets rolled out to Song. Yasser's coming across quickly. I just have caught Song there. Yeah, I think he just catches him on the ankle. Well, that's how he's repaid a nice little hug from Song Euyong with a crunching tackle of his own.
Is that going to give us our water break? That's the big question. Looks as though a lot of the players are making their way over to the sides, and yep, there you go. The referee says, yeah, it'll give him an extra minute to get himself ready. Go and get yourselves a drink. Well, the one-way traffic has stopped. And you've got to say Tampines coming out at the beginning of that second half didn't do themselves any justice whatsoever, conceding 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Just the 3 minutes straight back after the break. Just 20 seconds on the clock before Saifullah made it 3. Plazibat got his second after great work from Faris Ramley, who was totally unselfish. And then it's Kipitovic that managed to, well, pull a goal back. Here's this first goal, given away straight away from the kickoff.
Yeah, it's the pressure that they apply in midfield, and they take it off Iman Hakim here. But then that switch in the tempo, that quick transition there is key for the Lion City Sailors. And again here, have a look at Faris Ramli. Pounces. And that giant gap you've got between the central defenders is just invites Faris Ramli to go on, take the ball away from Shazwan, lay it off for Stipe Plazibat for that finish. And then Tampines Rovers here with a bit of class. The first real bit of class was seen from them in this game. Nice disguise on that pass. Lovely bit of skill by Mehmedovic. And a simple finish in the end by Kapitovic.
Wonder if it stays like this, if Kim Do-hoon would be unhappy at not keeping a clean sheet, because they were in total control. There was no doubts about that, and they just seemed to have gone to sleep. However, with 20 minutes to go, it's still game on. Another goal here could give us a bit of a tense finish.
Yeah, I think from a coach's perspective, you're always going to look at situations where you could have done better, whether you've won 4-0, 5-0. You're always looking to see where you can kind of improve on. But of course, it doesn't necessarily mean you've got to immediately translate that into your players. You keep that to himself among the coaching staff. And he'll congratulate the players for, well, I'm assuming they're going to win this one. Could be proven wrong. But if they go on to win it, I think he'll be pretty satisfied with the performance from the Lion City Sailors in this match.
Yeah, overall, they've still got to see it through. 19 minutes plus a little bit of stoppage time at the end to go. But Tampines haven't sat back and, well, they haven't shrunk. Let's put it that way. They've come out after conceding those 2 early goals. They've stood up to be counted and they're trying to have a go. But it's little wayward passes like that that aren't going to help. So they need to sort that out quickly. Now, as you would expect, Lion City Sailors just taking their time before putting the ball back in play. And the little flick didn't come off on that occasion. Mehmedovic. Ball forwards looking for Bosniak. Help forwards from Bayaki. Just cushioned over the top. Tajeli easily just shepherding that one out for a goal kick. Again, it's just all these extra few seconds that take time off the clock that will help the Lion City Sailors.
Yeah, they won't mind this at all. I mean, it breaks up the rhythm of the game. Either way, a few seconds, stoppages of play. Just see with Hassan as well. Tajeli's just gone down and taking the time here.
Is that a little bit of cramp?
Cramp, yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
70 minutes into the game. 75 minutes. He has been, well, he has had to work incredibly hard.
He hasn't had too many minutes as well, Tajeli. It's been difficult for him to get really a flow of minutes and a nice run of games going. So there is that side of it to it as well.
Yeah, 371 minutes, 36 seconds in all, if you want to be precise. Only 4 starts. That's the thing. So, yeah, definitely needs some more games under his belt. Just wonder if we'll see a change. They're looking down here for the thumbs up, but it's a difficult one because he has had the measure for the majority of the game. I'm not going to say the last 10 minutes because Bosniak really has started to have a go at him. If he's tiring, do you put some fresh legs on there? Do you shore it up down that right-hand side? Well,
I think I think he's looking good. From what I noticed, I think the thumbs up was given, and it's again also. I mean, it's a chance for him to apply a little bit of gamesmanship. Nice, just go down, feeling a little bit of cramp, eat up a few more seconds.
Yasser turns, gets a hand to the face. No, Adam, who's impressed in this left-back role today, hasn't looked bad at all. That's another foul. 2 fouls in quick succession. Song not singing at the moment off the same hymn sheet as his teammates.
Yasser just getting another one in the face there, sandwiched in between Song and Hafiz.
Can they deliver? Taufik just rolls it forwards, and well, that'll be easy for Hassan to just claim that one and just try and waste a little bit more time. Well, that's awful from Hassan. That's a real chance. I thought he was going to go for goal. Good tracking back from Tajeli there, though, but he's had to concede the corner. I honestly thought that Taufik, from our position here in the commentary booth, was just going to go for goal then. He'd have scored had he done that. And Hassan makes amends.
Oh, there's a big shout there from Kapitovic, trying to get the attention of the referee. I don't think there was anything in that at all. But yeah, you're right. I thought Taufik was actually going to have a go at goal himself. Decided to play it into Kapitovic. Excellent recovery by Tajeli. Suddenly his cramps have disappeared. Wonderful acceleration to get himself back there. And he's had a good game. He's had a fantastic game at right back, Tajeli.
Yeah, they've defended well, to be fair. Just the goal they got caught with. Looks as though we may see another change down from the Sailors.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Akari Abdullah that comes on just to replace Tajeli, feeling the effects of his lack of minutes in recent times. Put in a good strong shift on the right-hand side.
Ball dinked forwards, but Harris, who has looked very, very comfortable today, he hasn't got out of a canter, has he? If you were a horse, the canter is just where it just trots along and it's just nice and smooth and steady. It looks like he's playing his way back into some sort of fitness.
Yep, for all you horses out there watching us.
Well,
yeah, Harris, look, you're absolutely right. He's been class in the centre of that defence.
Well, he hasn't had a mare.
Yeah.
There you go. Chance here, though. Oh, it's close. That's very, very close. Just straying offside on that occasion was Faris Ramley. Three offsides to 2. Does look as though we will see that change. Gary coming on for Tajeli in a moment or two. Opting for the fresh legs.
Yeah, no need to take any sorts of risk here now with the position that the Sailors are in at the moment.
Nakamura's just flicked that out wide there. Plazabat was moaning, and well, Hassan again. Comfortable, easy claim for him.
Yeah, he's finally going to be going off here. He's going to be stretchered off. Tajeli.
Yeah, really, really taking his time. We will have that change now. So we already mentioned that we had one player with a famous father that's won titles. There's another one coming on now with another famous father, Abdullah Noor, of course. So Akiri Abdullah is the man that's coming on.
Yeah, good work rate Akari will bring as well. Good speed on the right-hand side. And we've had a couple of situations here where Armin Bosniak has actually found a bit of space to send crosses in. I think it's 3 crosses now that he's put into the box. So just get Akari in there. Make sure he's got an eye on where Bosniak is positioning himself and make sure he's quick to close him down. Because again, that's where Tampines are looking to get those passes out into Bosniak down the left-hand side. But I mean, really, aside from that goal that we saw from Tampines, it's been really well controlled by the Lion City Sailors. As we touched on, they dropped back into that 4-4-2. No need to press high. Just make sure you control the spaces, especially in those central areas.
Well, you can win games by killing areas, like you say. You're absolutely spot on. If your defensive midfield players tuck in and drop in, your wingers tuck in, you make yourself compact. It's not difficult. Well, the referee has to do a drop ball because he blew the whistle. That's why Hassan was going to kick it, but he's not allowed to because the ball wasn't in play. Now it is. So 10 minutes to go. Lion City Sailors have shown that they've got all hands on deck when it comes to trying to get all 3 points here, but can they see it across the line?
It's nice that we've seen, you know, they touched on the fact in the build-up to this game that Kim Do-hoon wants them to play different formations in different styles. And we've seen that in this game. The moment they've gotten that lead, 4 goals up, they went and set back, went into this 4-4-2, and they're showing a different side to their game.
Yeah, there are going to be certain formations that they'll have to work on a lot more in training. It's just when you said when they've got that lead, they were 4-0 up. You don't normally get yourself into a 4-0 lead. But they've managed the game, and you're absolutely spot on. That's of vital importance. Can they get another one? That's the big question. Yes, it. Little give and go. It's in behind though. Just a little bit too far for Hafiz Noor. They're going to have to chase back here now. Big diagonal pass on, but easily picked off again. Amarul, well, as comfortable as you like. That's going to be a yellow card as well. That's crazy. You don't grab the player's shirt. There were enough black shirts back there defending. And, well, the arms out wide just show a picture of frustration from Mehmedovic.
Yeah,
hey, look. Boom.
They're just fatigue, frustration creeping in. I think they know they're done here, Tampines, and the way Amirul Adli just breezed past Mehmedovic there.
It's his 3rd of the season. Nice touch there from Stipe Plazebat. No Adam. Does well. It's Faris. Faris Ramley. Nice little ball back. Song, little give and go. Little step over Song. There are white shirts forwards. Just over the top. Well, the man that's just come on as a substitute, almost making a name for himself there. Akari Abdullah pushed up from the back, but fires over.
Yeah, wonderful move again by the Lion City Sailors. Just linking up so well. Quick touches of the ball in tight spaces there on the edge of the box. And there you go, Noor Adam Abdullah once more is making sure he's closing down on his man there. Forcing him into a pass backwards.
Bayaki, Nakamura. Here's Yasser. Just too tight. The white shirts crowding out. And now the chance for the quick counter-attack. Ball drilled forwards from Song. Faris finds Plazabat onside. Is it hat-trick time? Has to wait. Faris, oh, got that one all wrong. Well, we'd expect a little bit better quality there from Faris Ramley.
Yeah, I think he's just looking for a goal for himself. He's worked ever so hard. He's been incredible.
He deserves one, to be fair.
He does. And actually, Stipe Plazabat was away, was through on goal. Just got a little bit distracted by Irwan's shot. Had to shove him off. He was forced to just hold it up for a bit, wait for that support to arrive.
And they come again, though. Pozniak on that far side, plays it inside, screams for penalties, not given. So the white shirts will look to break out again. Plazabat with the layoff. Gabriel quite getting involved as well. Song playing it forward.
That was an excellent challenge by Akari. And another excellent challenge on this occasion, it's Taufik.
Now they're all just standing up. Song gets upended, the ball in between his feet, a little bit of a melee, play continues. Faris back there helping out defensively as well. Plazabat gets challenged from behind. Play on, said the referee. Yasser Hanapi just rolls it forwards. Kapidovic plays it out wide. Returns in the box! Good save from Hassan Sunny. Kibadovic played it wide, carried his run on, and it was an inch perfect pass, but that is a very, very good save from Hassan Sunny.
Wonderful by Hassan. You just have a look at how quickly he gets down here to save this header. Brilliant save by the captain.
Mehmedovic Bosniak swings it in with his right. Just flicked away, not far enough though. Taufik on the end of it. Just rolls it back as well. Iwan Shah back to Yasir. Yasir was looking to try and bend it in that top corner, but bends it wide of the target altogether. Another opportunity gone.
I think we're going to have another look at that save. And just admire this goalkeeping from Hassan. Immediately as the ball comes across, he switches his line of sight to where the ball is going to land, straight onto the head of Kapitovic. And yes, perhaps from a striker's perspective, you'd say head it into the corners rather than straight down the middle. But still, Hassan has to react very quickly to that, because of the distance between the header and where he was in goal.
Oh, Song unnecessarily gets himself a yellow card. You're winning 4-1 and you get booked with 4 minutes to go for not retreating. That's a silly card. It could come back to haunt him later on. Nice little layoff and good work again. Kapitovic, another save from Hassan. Danger not clear. Song with a little give and go. Faris. Shadan. Another one that's just been as steady as you like, sitting there in the middle of the park. Gabriel losing out. Play continues. Here's Yasir. He plays it wide to Bosniak. Bosniak steps inside, steps outside, goes all the way around the outside, hangs it up. And the header wide. Real chance there for Taufik to make a name for himself, but just got caught underneath the ball, standing still, not running onto it and attacking it. But great work from Bosniak down that left-hand flank.
Yeah, wonderful work by Bosniak. He cuts inside, cuts outside, sends in across onto the head of Taufik, who deserved the goal, I thought, from that move, because it started out from him actually working really hard in midfield just to take it off the toes of Gabriel Kwak.
Just confirmation there. Song Young receiving the yellow card. Oh, that's a big header there from Bayaki. Bayaki has options. Can they get another one here towards the end, Tampines? Well, they're going to have to snap out of this pretty quickly, Tampines. We did mention at the start of the second 45 minutes about the importance of winning games and the importance of losing games, because if you keep going on a losing streak, it does not help confidence.
Well, they break here again with Faris Ramli. This looks so dangerous, but
good challenge.
Good challenge. Really good challenge by Ryan Sanizal.
Nice ball played over the top as well. That's cool, calm defending. And I've got no idea why Hassan even tried that, because it was always going to go behind, and there wasn't going to be enough power for him to head it for a throw-in. I'm going to give him some stick when I speak to him later on.
Yeah,
about
go
that.
for it. I think he'll tell you that he's just really enjoying himself, making all those saves, wanting to get involved a little bit more.
Yes, Hanapi to deliver.
Flying across for the cameras.
Bayaki with a header, and you hear the scream. He knows he should have done better.
I mean, I think there's a good chance we could see about 4 or 5 minutes of time.
Have you just rubbed a crystal ball? Yeah, there'll be 4 minutes as we come up to the final few seconds of this half. No, but we were just saying they've got to snap out of this quickly, because Tampines on the 19th take on Balestier. So, again, it's going to be a tough game. They got punished in midweek, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think, is that going to be at the Toa Payoh Stadium as well, which is a difficult pitch to play on. They've got Geylang as well after that, and then Tanjung Pagar. So I guess you could say that the next 3 fixtures are against sides in the bottom 4.
And it's 8 games without a win and without a draw. That's the problem. So you've got to try and turn that around quickly.
I think the big issue for Tampines as well is coming into this game. They've actually not won an SPL match against any of the sides in the top 4, and that looks set to continue here.
There's confirmation of your crystal ball. 4 minutes added on. The Sailors now know, because we're not going to see 3 goals in the final 4 minutes. They know that victory on the 20th against Tanjung Pagat will see them go to the top of the table, albeit on goal difference, as everyone's trying to get on the act. Faris, as much as it's been his team's day, it hasn't been his day, has he? He's toiled and toiled, he's set them up, but he just can't score himself today.
Yeah, he's picked up a couple of assists for himself here, and he's been incredible in that forward line. He's still looking for that goal, just to round things off. And again, I've just got a smile on my face because Hafiz was standing in acres of space down the right-hand side with his hands up in the air. He wasn't ever going to get it, was he? Faris wants that goal for himself.
Let's see the delivery here. Will we get one more goal? Fired in. Free header for Harris. He got in front of his man, but just didn't get enough on it. And the 2 central defenders for the Sailors have played extremely well today. Harris getting more minutes under his belt, which will be good and important for him. Model professional, though. Is Faris. Still Faris. Oh, that's very, very clumsy. That's going to result in a free kick.
Just losing his patience there, Taufik. Twisting and turning from Faris Ramli.
He's never going to win it. That's the thing. 25-year-old should know better than to go in with a haphazard and a clumsy challenge like that.
Just touching on the central defensive partnership of Haris and Amirul. It has looked very good. They've controlled things from the back, and I've just noticed Haris as well, talking to his teammates around him, making sure he's guiding everyone along from a deeper position there. Amirul, for me, as I said earlier in this match, has been very consistent this season.
Well, the little ball in behind. He had to scramble there, Taufik, to defend. Just got enough on it. Bayaki. Yasir. Can they move forwards as well? And just put a final nail in the coffin. They're still running, that's for sure. This man won't stop. No Adam has 2 white shirts in the box, and you can see Plazabat wanted that in at the near post, but he hung it up at the far post. No real chance there.
Kim Do-hoon is not happy with the delivery of that cross from Noradam. Wants his side just to keep on going, get more, and he's encouraging Noradam to get himself back here. But that young man has had another outstanding game of football at left back for the Lion City Sailors. Wonderful move. A couple of olays coming from the LCS fans here at Jalan Besar Stadium.
Well, the Tampines fans haven't stopped singing. The referee looks at his watch. We look at the clock. It tells us that 4 minutes is done, and it tells you that the game's done. The Lion City Sailors with a comprehensive 4-1 victory over Tampines means that they're now 3 points away from going to the top of the table. Tampines didn't turn up in that first 45 and then shot themselves in the foot right at the start of the second half, but then they came to life, but it was always going to be too little, too late. It was Gabriel Quack in the 34th minute and Plazibat in the 36th that got things going, before Saifullah and Plazabat in the 46th and 48th minute meant that it was 4. It's Kibidovic that pulled one back, but it was, as we mentioned, too little, too late. Final score at Jalan Besar Stadium, Lion City Sailors 4, Tampines Rovers 1.
Yeah, I mean, a wonderful performance by Lion City Sailors, just adding different aspects of their game here in terms of their formation as well.
You turn around and look at the shot count. 17 shots from Tampines, 7 on target, but 15 from the Lion City Sailors and 7 on target. It tells you that it could have been a very, very different game, but the clinicalness of the Sailors and Tampines just shooting themselves in the foot on too many occasions really cost them, Roshan.
Yeah, not making those defensive errors, allowing Lion City Sailors to get some simple goals there. Yeah, look, 17 shots in the end, 7 of those were on target. Hassan Sani had to be called into action. And make some really good saves in that second half to just trying to maintain that gap, keep it at 4-1. But really, I don't think we can begrudge the win for the Lion City Sailors.
No, but it was, you've got to turn around and say that first half performance from the Lion City Sailors, particularly after half an hour when they got into their stride and they started scoring goals, they looked very, very comfortable, didn't they?
They certainly did. It started with Stipe Plazibat, who's a very complete centre forward, and dropping in to midfield to set up his teammate Gabriel Kwak here. Times his run really well and keeps his composure as he sees Shazwan coming out to him to try and close down the angle. Just lifted over the goalkeeper. Good technique on the finish. And it was a goal that they deserved. They started off the better side. They were very quick with their play, very quick with those transitions getting forward and how aggressive they were.
Didn't take them very long. Yeah, didn't take them very long to add a second, did it?
No, it didn't. And again, it's Shadan who wins it in midfield. And this was a key aspect of the Lion City Sailors game here tonight. And I think the fact that they were able to win it and close down very quickly in central midfield and basically at times almost set these little traps, inviting Tampines to play into those areas, win it in those positions, and then get themselves forward in these counter-attacks. And Stipe Plazibat getting a goal for himself there off Faris Ramli assist.
20 seconds into the second half, Tampines do this.
Yeah, again, you just have a look at where the Lion City Sailors are positioned in midfield. The moment Faris applies that pressure on Iman, you start to see Saifullah in that position, just closing the space, making sure there's no line of pass through the midfield. And then you see Stipe Plazibat just dropping off in there as well before making a late run into the box later on. But Saifullah here, I mean, he keeps his composure very well to find the back of the net. Very impressive young player who works incredibly hard for his side.
And then the scary thing is almost a minute, 90 seconds later, they go and do this yet again. Sloppy play, but Faris Ramli has put it on a plate again for Plazibat, who says thank you very much.
Absolutely right. And again, they sniff out that moment where's that cue to press. There's not enough pace on that pass as well into Nakamura. So Faris Ramli, because of how quick he is, sees there's an opportunity for him to get himself in there, gets his toe on the ball, and lays it off for Stipe Plazibat. And just have a look at how far the Tampines Rovers central defenders were in that possession phase, because they want to try and play out from the back. But if you lose the ball in dangerous positions, you get caught out. And this moment of real quality from Tampines, which few and far between, I think, in this match. Nakamura with a lovely disguised reverse pass into Mehmedovic. And then their back heel for a Kapitovic finish.
I think the more we see that, we see them being carved open because Plazibat's in there but doesn't react because he's a striker. The midfielders haven't trapped back, but it's simple, and he makes absolutely no mistake.
Yeah, and I think generally the Lion City Sailors pretty much control the game pretty well in the second half. And I mean, look, you get your opportunities, you're clinical in front of goal, you put your chances away, you give your opposition such a difficult task ahead of them, and that was a big difference, that clinical ability of the Lion City Sailors here, but also the quality, I think, and the intensity and the hunger and aggression that they showed in this game. It's what impressed me, Paul, and for me it's been the best performance under Kim Do-hoon so far. You know, I thought they looked a little bit, they looked poor against Albirex, especially in the first half of that game. Okay, they bounced back and they were able to pick up a point. They came unstuck against Ballister Khalsa, again late on in the game, picking up a point. But this one here looked really nice here and complete and very controlled, I thought.
Will we see them go top of the table midweek? Albeit for a short while.
I think so. It's an opportunity for them now. It's starting to look like they've got their flow here going. They're starting to come into a nice little bit of rhythm. And I think they won't let that opportunity go by. That opportunity to go top of the table and put Albirex Niigata under pressure.
Well, let's actually hear what Coach Kim thought about that. It was an impressive display from the Lion City Sailors. Here's Coach Kim.
As well for the Lion City Sailors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your
Coach Kim,
Lion
that
City
looked a
Sailors.
professional display from your side. You got the job done. All 3 points. You must be satisfied with that.
굉장히 좋은 경기력을 보여줬는데요. 선수들이 경기에 있어서 만족스럽나요?
네, 일단 우리 선수들이 어떻게 준비했냐 하는 부분들이 굉장히 나왔던 부분들이 좋았던 것 같고 우리 선수들이 이기고자 하는 마음들이 강했기 때문에 좋은 결과가 있었던 것 같습니다. 상당히 오늘 만족스러운 경기를 치렀다 생각하고 있습니다.
Yes, we're very happy with the way they played. We showed what we practiced, and we were showing that we were willing to win and have the game to us.
And when we spoke earlier pre-match, you said that you wanted to win it for the fans, and you did just that. How good does it feel to deliver them this result?
저희 경기 시작하기 전에 팬들을 위해서 승리를 거두고 싶다고 했는데 이제 팬들 앞에서 승리한 소감이 어떠신가요?
네, 일단 저 여기 와서 오늘 첫 승했는데 첫 승을 또 우리 홈에서 팬들이랑 함께 나눌 수 있어서 저 개인적으로 굉장히 기쁘게 생각하고 우리가 좋은 경기력으로 계속적으로 팬들과 함께 웃을 수 있는 그런 시즌을 마무리했으면 하는 바람을 가지고 있습니다.
It's my first win coming to Singapore, and it's a great moment winning in front of the fans. We hope we have more moments like this, and we'll promise to win more.
And with that win, you are now just 3 points off Albirex with a game in hand. Is this the boost you needed to really push for the league title?
이제 저희가 IBS는 동점이 됐는데요. 이제 이 승리가 저희가 타이틀 경쟁에 있어서 도움이 많이 될 건가요?
네, 아무래도 저희가 3점이라는 거는 굉장히 우리가 중요한 승점이라 생각하고 있습니다. 매 경기마다 우리가 최선을 다해서 승점을 쌓아간다 이러면 좋은 결과가 있을 거라고 저는 생각하고 있고 계속적으로 우리 선수들이 하고자 하는 부분들이 굉장히 많이 나왔던 이런 자세들이 굉장히 우리가 발전할 수 있는 동기부여가 된다고 저는 생각하고 있습니다.
Yes, every point matters, and we will make sure that we win as many points as possible. As we collect the points, it will show greatly at the end of the season. You can see that the players want to win as well, and so hopefully we'll build on this game.
Coach Kim, thank you. Many congratulations.
축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Very interesting that he turned around and said the players want to win as well.
Yeah.
There's that winning mentality, and we've spoken about the difference between a winning mentality and a losing mentality, didn't we, Roshan? Because you turn around and you look at the chances that were created for Tampines. They created a couple of opportunities, but they didn't put them in the back of the net. So is this a losing streak with that losing mentality for them?
I'm a little bit reluctant to call it a losing mentality amongst the Tampines Rovers side. I'm reluctant to do that because I've seen a lot better from them. I'm going to chalk it down to, yes, they've come back from a very difficult AFC Champions League campaign. I'm going to chalk it down to the fact that they've had a big break, they've had quarantine to sort of deal with, the fact that they haven't really had much time to sort of train and much time to get into a rhythm. You could see the fitness levels, you could see the sharpness levels really missing. So I don't think it's a losing mentality. I just think, again, it's one of those days, one of those situations for those reasons I mentioned. That sharpness, that intensity, that aggression was just missing from this Tampines Rovers side in key moments.
It doesn't matter what we say. There's only one person we should talk to and who we should hear from. Let's get straight back down and talk to Gavin Lee, the head coach of Tampines Rovers.
Coming down and they made the atmosphere very, very good today. It was buzzing. It was good from the start. Unfortunately, we couldn't match our performance to the atmosphere, and that's something we need to reflect on and continue the work again.
But why did you think that was? Why couldn't you match up to their performance today?
Yeah, obviously conceding goals was always going to hold us back, and I think we conceded the goals too easily. We gave the ball away too easily and in areas that they could hurt us, and so we got to analyze again. Was it our positioning that wasn't good for our counter pressing, or we just made bad choices to begin with?
Now, Gavin, despite the result though, there must be some positives that you could take away from tonight.
Yeah, you look at the boys, they didn't stop fighting, and we know we got a group that will rebound, and now we just have to dust ourselves off and go for Balestier next.
Gavin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
A rebound pretty quickly. As you heard him say there, they've got Balestier next. That's a big, big game for the Tampines now, isn't it? That will define their season of whether it will be a success or whether it will be a failure.
And I think, that question about that losing mentality that you asked me a little bit earlier on, if they don't bounce back against Balestier, then there'll be those doubts that start creeping in. And it's not going to be an easy game against a Balestier side that can make it incredibly difficult for you to play, especially if it's going to be happening at the Toa Payoh Stadium, which is a tough pitch for sides like Tampines who like to play their football as well.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the end of next week. Now, the reason because of that is because we do know that the Lion City Sailors can go top of the table if they win their game next week. Now, the 3 points here means that they have closed that gap to Albirex Regatta to just 3 points. Tampines now, it looks as though they will be out of the race to be able to go in and take the title. Hougang are there or thereabouts, but it does look like a two-horse race now, Roshan, to you?
I'd agree with you there. I think it's between Albirex and the Lion City Sailors. And what a run of fixtures we've got coming up as well, Mace.
Well, Balestier taking on Tampines. That's on the 19th. On the 20th, can the Lion City Sailors go to the top of the table? Hougang then take on Jalan. So it's a must-win for Hougang if they're going to stay in and around that mix. But Albirex Regatta can go back to the top of the table by defeating or drawing with the Young Lions at the end of next week.
Yep. Yeah, a good set of fixtures coming up there. I mean, again, you asked me the question about whether Lion City Sailors would take that opportunity to pile on the pressure on Albirex Regatta. And I think they will. I think they will. They're starting to see that flow going. And it's interesting that we picked up on that point that Kim Do-hoon said the players want to win. And you could see quite clearly what the hunger and the desire was there from the players. And I think that's really what's going to please Kim Do-hoon going forward as well.
Have you had fun today?
I've had lots of fun. Have you?
I've had fun because we've seen goals, we've seen action, we've seen absolutely wonderful play. We've seen goals galore, which is what the league has epitomised so far. The Lion City Sailors go within a nipple of going to the top of the table, just 3 points now behind Albirex Regatta. A win midweek will see them go top. That's all we've got for you from today from Jalan Besar. We'll be back next week.